And welcome to LAWhammer! Yay! We're going to open with exactly the same caveats that we've had for the past couple of weeks. The most important one being we have no production PC permanently in place, so which means we're using Erin's laptop over in the corner. Now, hopefully that means that there'll be no issues through the course of this because her laptop's awesome, but it does mean we're going to have a problem with our map cam this week. We have a big map that we'd like you all to see. We are going to be using it here, but we can't actually make that cam come up live. I can hear my own voice on somebody's...
It's
here. It's you. I'll be cutting that later. I can hear my own voice on my own... That never happened, honest. So, cut! I can still hear my voice. Oh! It doesn't shut up.
Closed it.
I closed it and it didn't stop, so I'm going to sit over here be embarrassed.
That's how loud you are, Andy. You overcome the scream lock.
I managed to, I overcome the mute on the device. It's all quiet. Off to a perfect smooth start. This is the sort of things that make playing from your living room so much fun. So as I was saying, our map cam is not working, so we're just going to bring up an actual image of the map when we're playing, so you'll get to see what we're talking about. And as we move around and discuss stuff, we'll give you an attempt of where we're moving our counters as we describe it verbally, but you're going to have to use your imagination to a certain amount, and I apologise for that ahead of time. But beyond that, we start, as always, with... Actually, before we go to XP, I'm going to pass over to the absolutely wonderful Cathstroke Birdie, who has something lovely to say.
Right. Listen up. Just joking. The community for LAWhammer is burgeoning. We have so many wonderful people on our Discord. If you're not already on it, come join us. If you like what we're doing, tell your friends, tell your enemies. We're not picky. Hit the subscribe, hit like buttons, comment on things, get involved, because we're nothing without you guys. And if you've got any ideas or you want to see some really brilliant memes, the Discord channel is definitely where you should be. Andy, back to you.
Some of the memes.
Well, I'd say on that, can we give a specific shout out to Hawk Audley and congratulations on getting a job?
Oh, yes, thanks, Hawk. You're the best. Well done. If you don't know who Hawk is, pop over to our Discord channel, see some of the extraordinary memes, and then laugh, and laugh, because some of them are brilliant. Although it's fair to say that we've had quite a lot of different memes coming out from last week as well, as you burnt everything down to great success, which was...
Controlled fire.
Yeah, controlled fire.
That was Autumn Archfix.
That was it. Thank you very much.
Yes.
You rock. So, that does make everything more fun. So, let's jump on to the first of the things that we need to do, which is XP for last week. Yay. Last week, then I got high, and then I got high, and then I got high.
Again,
the mushroom forest, and how well it turned out for them all. Beyond their getting high on mushrooms and thinking they got stabbed or thinking that things went wrong, they also had a relatively successful destruction of the... physician's house. It definitely didn't spread as a fire throughout town, at least as far as they're aware. We saved them all. And then we met the outlaws.
We also rescued the stuff in the bottom.
Yeah.
Rescued is an interesting term. It's almost like it's alive. We rescued it. We saved it from the awful burning that it might have been exposed to.
No, also in terms of as well, like from the child who took it too.
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
We rescued the child. That is exactly what I meant.
100% him. We have secured ourselves some warpstone dust, at least that's what you believe it is. We have successfully wiped out the remainder of that taint inside the good old village of Wittgendorf, probably. We have made our way through a forest, and we've arrived with the outlaws and come up with a plan which involves apparently trying to take out every single last living soul in that, I think it's fair to say, grown-ass adult stream in that fucking castle. I say,
I know pearls
there's
to
women
punch.
in the room.
Moving on swiftly, you get yourself That's it. We did that one. So that's 85 experience points per character. Plus, did anyone hit their short term?
Yeah.
What was your short term?
Create a very small controlled fire in the doctor's house and burn it to the ground.
And you successfully did that. 50 XP. Anyone else got anything? No. And does anybody need short term or wish to change them? Because now's the time to do so.
I'm keeping mine from that.
No,
You're keeping yours?
keeping mine.
I have a new one, which is from his meeting with Corbreath. Find out more about Anway and who she or he was.
So, just to clarify that one, there was a lovely little side stream that we had that's on the production laptop, where good old Elric had a chat with, let's say, his druidic pals, and learned quite a lot of quite useful stuff. That is currently lost. If we have to end up re-recording it, we probably will. I'll make it a lot longer and throw in some ghosts, and it'll be horrible. So that one. Any others?
I wrote mine down last session, but we never got around to saying it. Mine is steal some money from the nobles and give it back to the outlaws and kind of get a bit of revenge for the stuff that's happened.
Steal some stuff from the Wittgensteins and Robin Hood it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Nice.
more.
I'm going to challenge someone to single combat.
Okay, someone. What does that mean?
Mortal combat.
Does that mean Liverpool?
Significant.
Somebody who's
bring it
a
on,
big
cupcake.
deal.
Ish.
Big-ish deal. Big-ish deal? Like middle deal.
Someone who deals from the middle of the deck.
Like head of the guards sort of thing.
Yeah,
rather
middle
than-
management, you know?
Like gatekeeper?
I will accept significant on that.
That's fine.
And then significant is obviously context appropriate. So it might be significant in the moment, but may not be significant overall. But it might be significant overall, although possibly not significant in the moment. And I'm looking forward to you challenge literally everyone you meet.
Yes.
Anybody else got one to kick around with, or are we done on our short-term ambitions?
Andy, I think?
No, I'm sticking with mine.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, without any further ado then, our party is going to finish off their planning. We do have the good old funky map, which hopefully Aaron will be able to bring up and you'll be able to see. And we're going to dive into Castle Wittgenstein. Once upon a time, a group of glorious heroes gathered with some exceedingly, let's say, criminal outlaws and orchestrated a plan to take down the rightful and correct rulers of Wittgenstein. Because they've decided that they are, without even speaking to them, bad guys.
Look at their town.
Well, yes, their town is not exactly in good shape,
Smash
but
the patriarchy.
He's a literal necromancer.
100 years ago, guy was.
Yeah. I
He's a
reckon he's still
necromancer.
around.
He's probably fine. We're getting there. We'll figure it out.
It'll be fine, totally.
Have a
So
wee
let
chat.
us open up inside the camp of the
Nice
outlaws.
cup of tea.
A camp that is ruled or led by Sigri, a priestess of Ulric, who wears no obvious external trappings to suggest that she is a priestess of Ulric. She just has claimed that she is, bar the potential axe that she has now sitting on her hip, because you're intending on, in the next day or so, making your attack. Now, we have ourselves a relatively large map of the Outer Keep, which I hope Erin can bring up, but we're looking at it right here. And there's a couple of things that are worth pointing out. First, over to the side, you can see that there is a single road that leads up to the main gates. That single road is the only easy way in, because the castle itself is high up on some rocks. Again, an image that hopefully Erin will be able to show you all out there. It's high up on some rocks, and there is only one way directly into Castle Wittgenstein. Fortunately, though, Fred, who used to work in the place some time ago, one of the outlaws, and most certainly not a scurrilous, horrible person, is happy to lead you to a secret passage on the way into it. However, there is the inevitable downside that he himself doesn't want to go in there because, as we discussed last episode, those who did attempt to creep in an attempt to open the gates never returned. But you're glorious heroes. It will be fine. He does, however, have an interesting additional piece of information, which is up here in this little square section here.
On the northwest.
That's on the northwest quadrant. Is what he describes as a ruin. It's just all. It used to be one of the buildings that were on like the outside. Might be a Smith. No, the Smith's over there. It was one of them anyway. I don't know what it was. It's always been a ruin when I was working there. But that's where the doorway comes in. So if you work your way through the passages, that's where you're going to find yourself coming out. So it's just a short walk down to the gates. But do note, down at the front gates, there is three actual gates. There's not just one. You've got the inner gate. That's a big, heavy gate. You've got the portcullis. That's opened up in there. And then you've got the outer gate. Now, the portcullis is the one that's on the ropes that you're going to have to either cut or not cut. These ones should be, I mean, they're just barred with,
Bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Makes
Yes,
sense.
one of that. So that should be easy. I mean, there might be nothing in the catacombs. It might be fine. It's just you hear noises coming from them and all.
Okay, so this is new information. Catacombs.
Well, it's just a word in it.
You said tunnels before.
Well, they're natural, because it's the cave systems that were underneath it already, and you can get through them. The ones that are up in the front, which is the inner bailey, the inner keep, or whatever you call it. Those ones, they go down to like a little jetty. I imagine that's where they're probably taking your barge.
Right.
But you're not going to get them until you get into the inner keep. But the outer keep, those ones just go down to the cave system down at the bottom. And I can lead you there.
And just sorry.
Left, right, left, right.
Okay, good stuff. Everybody. We are aware that this is potentially the hold of a necromancer and theoretically going through something which is called a catacomb, ergo places where dead people are kept. A bit of a problem?
Well, it's one of the reasons I didn't really want to go in there,
Well, dead people are dead. It's really not a problem.
Well, yes, but also we did actually literally see living skeletons pop up recently, and I believe they stabbed you.
Yeah, but then we made short work of them, so I'm not too worried.
But we don't know if there's
We
don't know if there's a necromancer in this castle.
Explosion.
We don't know if there's a necromancer in this castle.
And if there is, it's our duty to end him.
We know that there's a woman who was speaking with a doctor who passed out corrupting rot gut, but we do not know if the woman actually told this doctor to do this, because Vitelka Hudson had murdered the doctor before we got there.
Although we do know that the skeletons from that necromancer from 100 years ago, whatever, still moved around even after maybe his death. So there might still be some defenses there that were put in ages ago.
Good point.
We'll be careful.
Fred goes, no, there weren't nothing down there before. When I was working there, which is a wee while back now, we used to go up and down through that. We're clear. It's got much worse recently. So there were nothing. It were clear.
What changed? Was there anyone new to the castle or anything?
No, not really.
Was it around the time the rot gut started being distributed?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Sigrid would know. Maybe ask her.
Let's ask her.
Well, also, has Wittgendorf always been such a shithole?
Yeah.
In the greatest of respects, but it's
I mean,
not
I've
very
never known
well
it to be
kept.
anything different.
So you would say the state of the town as it is.
I mean,
unusual.
it used to be a fine town, but it hasn't been for a long time.
As in your lifetime? Or?
No.
That is-
My grandfather, he's dead now.
That is what he said in the book, remember?
100 years.
When the thing was brought here, the
Oh,
town,
yes.
the crops started to fail.
Sigrid has been working with the local outlaws a significant amount, as have most of you, to their benefit or perhaps not, depending upon exactly what you were showing them. And she's very keen to press on, but also concerned. I think we probably need to make sure we've got a really good diversion in place, because we're not going to be able to take them all on. We think there's going to be at least 50 in there. Now, they're not going to be equipped and ready, but there's going to be maybe 20 on duty. There'll be some that are inside the inner and some that are sitting out here. There'll be some that will be sitting on guard on the walls. But there's still 20 well-armed and armoured soldiers. We're in trouble.
And how far is it from this keep bit to the place where our barge is held?
Now, looking at the map, which you can look here, and you have had one sketched out by Fred, so you can look at it. If you see, that's the middle keep there, and the next one is just the same again, so it's just there.
So, but it's down, right?
Yes, down. Deep down.
Southwest.
So
Down the southwest of the map.
right. So it won't be immediately apparent to them if we sneak in and the outlaws attack that we're anything to do with it, and so the barge should be relatively safe.
And they don't know who we are, right?
Exactly.
They know there's a barge, but
Everyone should.
the crew would probably
Disguise
stay
it.
quiet.
If I may interrupt, our plan, I think, is quite clear. We go in under the cover of night, and we take it out as quietly as possible. Those that are in the middle keep are as well to be in another world. Unless they raise the alarm, we'll be fine. Now, they've got an alarm bell. Fred! Fred! And Fred comes over. Yeah, what? I thought you were doing your talks and stuff. Where's the bell? He says, oh, right, yeah. And then points to the central keep, the one down in the south, I'm going to presume, west of the map. I'm upside down, so it's difficult. Yeah. Southwest of the map says, the bell's down there. That's where they've got the warning bells, and they set off that if they get signalled from the walls. I know that because they test it like once every 6 months, and they did it once when I was there.
And how do they signal from the walls?
Lots of shouting and stuff, I think. I mean, it's
Nothing
not that
specific.
far. It's not that far. It's pretty far, but it ain't that far. Now, so that you understand for the scale here, there's a coach that's sitting up near the north of the map. That gives you a good idea of what the scale is. Now, normally it would be 1 square for your movement. In this case, each square is around about 2 squares of normal movement. So you're moving at about half speed on these.
And
Yes.
to the southwest there, before you get to the keep, there's
Another gate.
another gate there. You may well ask, how often, do people go in and out often of that inner one?
No, they don't let anyone through. In fact, well, and Sigri says, there's something to say. The few that have come out of the place, as in, there's a couple of us here. In fact, one will call over, one of them will be much easier. And she looks around and goes, hey, Yupa, come here. Head lifts up. Comes over. Yeah. Says, can you tell these fine scouts what it was like passing through the gates into this? Oh, right, yeah. So, yeah, if you went through there, you'd be cured of all your ailments and everything would be. It was very much, presented like, you might be out here and in a difficult time and stuff. But if you go through there, if you're summoned through by the lady, yeah, well, everything will be fixed. Everything will be marvelous. She's very clever, they said, but I never really saw many come back. But 1 or 2 did, and they seem to be a lot better. Well, they became guards as well.
Right, and what are you infected with?
What?
Oh, nothing. Sorry. Carry on.
Sorry.
Were all the guards coming through from there, or were there guards who only stayed in the first place?
No, most of them just they're out in the outer keep. Yeah, out in the outer keep. Yeah, they're well protected. I ain't been in there now for about a year. Oh, it just I got summoned up, and I was in amongst you see a bunch of the villagers. You see, we used to hang around on the inside, but it was proper filthy. I didn't like the look of it, and I thought, oh no. So I snuck out one night, and I ain't been back.
Is there, because what I was thinking was I could probably try and sneak in and like disable the bell, and that way, even if they do make noise, but then we'd have to have a reason why somebody would be sent all the way.
I think it would be better if we simply try to take this castle, this first keep, as quietly and as quickly as possible, and then once the outlaws come in, hopefully then their hustle and bustle will appear to be normal hustle and bustle, and then we'll take the next one.
I think we should. Sorry, go ahead.
What I was going to say is we may need to change what our signal is for them then. Because our signal was to let off some firecrackers, and that will very much signal that something unusual is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Aye.
Is there something visual we could do? Hang something down the walls or something?
Maybe on this side.
Just take some rope with you and toss it down the side. If you can get around the walls, she says, and she marks on the map. All around the perimeter, there's a wall. The entire thing is just a wall, and there's ways up. Little staircases that go up to the top. You'll see them point. That's where he pointed them out, Fred. And you can make your way up, and you could just drop ropes down any of that area there. That would be a clear show. Having said that, though, I'm still going for come dusk. We set off some sort of conflagration out there to try and drag out at least half of the number, if not more.
Yeah, you can do that. But if we set something off inside the keep, that's counter to what we want, but if you set something up, that's good.
Aye. So I'll try and drag them out, because that'll also open up the gates.
Would it be worthwhile, I know that's one distraction. What's better than one distraction? 2 distractions. So we could do this one. They send out some people to go and see the conflagration, as you said. And then we do another distraction, like, let's say, a visiting noble who wishes to be let into the castle, but needs a guard.
You'll be inside the castle already.
No. I'm saying
Into the next bit of the castle.
also a good idea. I'm saying the initial.
No, we're
No,
going to
you'll
sneak in.
be with us. We're sneaking in.
I understand that, but if I stand at the front of the gate, hello.
But we're not going in by the front.
No,
We're going up in front of you.
No, Gerhard is saying we could do an additional thing. Where he
So I could go to the front.
No,
Say,
you
no,
really
it's
can't
not.
stay
You know
with
what?
us.
It sounds like it's going to be too complex. If someone was probably going to describe this and the various outcomes of it, it would probably be quite difficult to do said thing. So do you know what? I think I'm just going to stick with you guys.
I also think we should take the further southwest tower before we take the front, because that stops them sending reinforcements. So if we can hold that bar of the gate,
Start at the
we
rear,
can
work
just
forwards.
focus.
Sigri shakes her head and says that it's very. That might not be a good idea, because that might alert the inner castle.
It feels like no matter what we do in here, it's going to alert the inner castle.
I don't think so. I think we can take it without them even knowing. In fact, I think we can take it without them even knowing. They're just going to be sitting there in their chairs at their tables doing nothing. Nothing ever happens here.
What does Elric feel like in terms of his actual battle knowledge?
Like war warfare.
So, he is aware that one of the easiest ways to take or bring down any particular army stroke encampment or stroke any equivalent is to obviously undermine it somehow. Get on the inside. If you can do that, you can cause almost untold damage. He's also aware that they're not incorrect that an ambush may work, and that the fog of battle is not just real, it's something that bright wizards ignore. So, I will now take you back to the Bright College. This is exactly the sort of plan that they would say is an absolute bloody nonsense. Don't ever listen to anybody who says something like sneaking. You know why? Because you're bright wizards. Your job is to burn everyone. You're never going to do that quietly. For example, a simple spell, Tarakshi, he says, needs be bellowed to be properly understood. If you don't do it correctly, it will be a problem. So, his schooling is not to do this. However, with an application of some intelligence, he's fully aware that if he doesn't cast any spells, this could be 100% successful.
Yeah, that's the thing. So tactically sneaking in, but he knows
He also knows that once the
biggest strength that he can offer to a
yes,
group is,
but it's not his only
paused,
strength because he can stab people just as well as anyone else. I'm not saying he wants to, but he can.
A flaming sword's not very loud.
he's still got a shout out.
There is, however, an issue. When you cast spells,
People sense it.
people sense it.
Yeah.
And you've got a concern that there might be witches on the inside of here.
Well, we know there's one.
Yeah.
Assuming she's still alive.
Quite. So that all being the case, he has concerns.
It's not like we're carrying a magical artifact or anything.
But now let's and move to them actually scouting out the location itself and walking all the way through the horrendous forest, being taken there by Fred, with Sigri along with you. Passing by the horrendous moth things.
There's still more?
Oh, there are a lot of them. And indeed, at one point, you pass a tree that's covered top to toe in them, all just sitting there with their little wings occasionally flapping slightly. They're just, you can't even see the tree. It's almost like they're parasitically
They are
feeding
such
off
beautiful colours, though.
Great.
of it. Sure. They do appear grey.
I don't like the dust.
Have you been
Just
sniffing
here.
mushrooms again?
They sparkle like rainbows.
Is this something where you can see something that we can't see?
Elf eyes.
Mushrooms.
As Sigri points upwards as you break past the edge of the trees. Here, and as you get closer to the castle, they become, if anything, more twisted. Each of their roots bulging out from beneath the ground, and the reaching branches themselves twisting like fingers in the air. And you can look up towards Castle Wittgenstein. It's pretty imposing when you're down at the bottom. It is effectively 3 separate keeps. The outer keep, the one you're intending to raid, the next one on a pillar that rises out of the Reik, and then the third one, the last of the 3, which, if anything, looks more like a bastion, particularly difficult to take. You can understand why this particular castle has probably never been taken. Taking the outer one seems relatively possible, but taking the inner one with any form of true assault, it will almost certainly be impossible, assuming they're prepared for it. It's also fair to say that those of you with lower warfare, you reckon that given the amount of space and the fact that it's going to be at night time, you could, the numbers that might be on the inside, relatively low probably, because most of given the information that you received, the only ones that go into the inner part are the family themselves and anyone that the family requests. The guards don't go past the central. Yeah. Meaning that, you might be able to take it without being noticed at all. That would be great, but it's fair to say you don't have form in this particular area.
At least Leopold's quieter because he doesn't have a breastplate.
He's a lot quieter now. In fact, he's almost eerily quieter how much he's got since he lost his eyes.
I must prepare.
That is quite the sight. Seeing it for real in front of you, it is enough to go, wow. But you're intending on diving into the depths of the catacombs, which Fred will take you over to later on, along a path down the side, and it's a cave. It's one of those caves that you feel like is probably emitting its own wind. It's dark and dank, and you're going to need something to see by when you're down there.
Good point. You might.
Do we actually have any normal torches?
We do have a lantern.
I have 7 matches.
We have torches, don't we? Secret notes. Aye, we can help you out with torches.
Good.
Great.
Useful.
So you're intending on going in tomorrow morning, right? And we don't intend to move and make our distraction until the evening. We'll do our distraction, and if you can get ropes down, great. If the gates are still open, great. But we'll intend to press ahead with the assumption that you've got there. But some form of signal would be good, even if it's just sitting on top of the wall and waving down to us.
Does anyone have a timepiece?
No.
Although,
Does Gerhard not have like a pocket watch?
should we agree that if things are going really, really badly, I'll let off a firecracker as a
Well,
It's
look, if
abort.
you're being attacked
Abort.
and you need aid, aye. But if you're not, I probably wouldn't. I'd just run if I were you.
Do you have? I once, when I was an outlaw, I was once given it's like a handheld firecracker. It didn't go or anything. It just, but it was very enjoyable to wave around. And I threw it at a peasant.
Oh god!
It was admittedly a less enlightening time, but it did dance quite funny afterwards. Do you have any of those?
Don't think so. I just have like normal ones.
Sure.
Sparklers have to exist.
I have to ask
for
about
stuff.
the timepiece because it is easy to lose track of time underground, and we may not.
I can sense when the moon's rising.
Excellent,
Perfect. Oh, in fact, actually,
because we will not want to leave until we are sure it's dark. Because once we leave, we may be immediately set upon or have to set upon someone.
very true.
Awesome.
You
Oh,
where you're coming at, like it's like an old ruined building. As I said, it's going to be quite likely there's going to be a few of the villages what have been summoned up just lying around in there. Yeah, quite likely. So be aware of that. I mean, they're probably not going to say nothing, but yeah, it's not a well known route in, but they do know about it. It's just So be careful. They've got no reason to put guards on. They've never had a guard on it ever. But, it is a possibility.
Excellent.
And the distraction is lighting a large fire again.
Says Sigrid. And she says, I know. I don't think so. I think we're going to... we're still unsure. The problem with the fire is it might spread.
Okay, no, good to know. Just all right.
The party
And
nods sagely. Yeah.
They've already come down to the village for the fire that was set there. That's still going there. I mean, it's very no. It's actually quite likely it'll draw them because they'll want to find the culprit. I mean, you're now wanted people.
Yeah, they'll think it's connected.
Aye, they're after you in the same way that they were after that woman.
So you're going to do a fire?
I think so. It's just it's
right.
trying to keep it tight,
Can I do a law warfare
Yep.
check, please, to see where is the strategically best place to
Yep,
do
go
a
for it.
fire?
I'll assist.
You said I'll resist. Rude.
No, put it over there in the sea.
4 successes.
6 successes.
6
Yeah,
successes.
so-
And what?
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fire. It makes sense. So yeah, you'll add one onto his total. As Elric quickly goes, a far better place. As you've moved your way through the forests, there's a small copse that will most certainly be seen, probably from the front gate. So a cluster of about 15, 20 trees. Importantly, though, they're a bit higher and they're also a bit drier. Many of the trees are in poor shape. Many of them have lost their foliage, but as you move into the depths of the forest, they've got an almost horrendous life. Where here, it's a drier and almost certainly easier light.
Are the trees, don't know how he feels about burning trees, but they're dead.
They're corrupted, and
they're
there's most of the trees
Say
around
no
here
more.
are to a degree corrupted. Your magic word. So that's where you think to probably make the best option, and you broadly agree. Although you feel that having something further away would be better, because the amount of distance between the front gates and here it's close enough that they're able to start coming back again. And if you've got a plan, your plan might be to get those gates shut as fast as possible. So get all of the outlaws in and then close the gates so that it's now your keep to defend against the knights that are coming back.
What if we put, if it's nighttime and there's a fire, if we put in things that look like human shapes, they might go and try and investigate, and then we put a trap there, and then they fall down to their imprisonment.
Sigrid nods and says, that's a good idea.
Pit traps.
Let's get that into place. And as we discussed last time, traps. We have a selection that we can put in place, and it's up to you how you wish to put them into place. Classic pit traps, spear traps, and other relatively makeshift simple traps are all available to you. And you've got loosely 3 choices, broadly speaking. One is to trap the main area that you're going to use as a distraction. The next one is to trap the journey point between there and the main castle. And the last one is to trap the surrounds of the castle itself. So people sneak up, put some traps around it in the hope that when you get in, hold it, they can come charging up. they're going to get caught out by traps later. There's also option 4, ones you come up with that are somewhat more inventive. But Sigri's main 3 choices are those. She quite likes the idea of ambushing them twice, effectively. Getting them out, catching them there, getting them to come back, and then collapse into a host of other traps.
What's that?
So,
Go on.
I would say if we trap the area around the distraction, then it becomes clear that was a distraction, which will cause them not to slow down, but actually the ones that are not caught by the traps to hurry back to the keep. Therefore, that is not what we should do. Although intuitively I want to slow them down, that shows our hand. You want them to get to the distraction and just find an inexplicable fire.
And then start a search.
And start a search.
That's what you want to be doing. I like that.
Not bad, right? Good idea. However, I raise you an idea. What about this? So, middle distraction fire. Traps around it. Oh no, run away. And they come back, or go to come back. Second fire. A ring around the initial fire, keeping them there. What do you think?
I do not think it will work because there will be no one to set the second fire
Very
because the
hard to
outlaws will be
orchestrate.
coming up to us. I think we do not want to show our hand that the fire was a distraction. They must consider when they get to the fire that it is still something to be investigated, not something that causes them alarm and causes them to turn around
That was
immediately.
recently set, and they need to go and find those who set it.
Exactly.
And we'll be quite far away from there. So they'll hopefully go away from the castle where they feel safe, and it's unlikely that the fire starter would try and hide, because why would you go towards the potential enemy? You would go away. So they're going to then move into the forest. So perhaps instead then we trap deeper into the forest.
Right. We lay
And
a
deeper
fair
down
trail.
there.
We lay
Tracks. That sort of
clear
idea.
signs, something that they go into at that point.
Things for
That's
them
not
to
bad.
follow, some traps for them to fall into,
that.
things to upset them, but not. I'd actually argue not too much to harry them that much. You want them. You want to feel like
They're making
Yeah.
progress.
they're making progress and they're going in the right direction.
We'd spent ages pissballing around because of the those mushroom spores. Surely that's quite not. Is that
They're
usable?
fine. They know how to get past them. We don't know how
really?
either.
Oh, that's annoying.
Is there like a trap set up, something that we could take with us if one of you has
I can set traps.
I can say
for
Nice.
the entrance to that? If they know about the pathway, maybe putting something behind us that we know about that might catch them unaware.
Aye.
To like,
Or if they try and come up that way.
yeah,
Yeah.
they come try and come
So, loosely, our glorious heroes come up with a glorious plan. And that is to set some traps on the outside, to take some equipment with them so that they can hopefully set up some traps on the inside, possibly using whatever they find in the local environment to perhaps make something a bit more exciting. But that doesn't change the core of it, and that's that they sneak in during the day, make their way up and into the place. They have enough provisions so that they can eat, wait, and as dusk comes, somehow let all of the outlaws in. The outlaws will start a fire on the outside once they are aware that either A, you're there, or B, dusk falls, because there's no real downside to people moving out anyway. And if you can't help them get in, then they've not lost anything by the investigation going anyway. So that will kick off regardless of where you are. And everyone feels relatively comfortable, stroke nervous. The camp of outlaws, the camp which you have been in for almost a week, is now a mixture of people that you would almost call, well, not friends, certainly colleagues. You now know people by name. You are, in some respects, responsible for showing them how to use some different bow skills, things that they hadn't considered before. Close combat and how to form up into small, tight knots of forces that defend each other rather than just working as flailing individuals. A description for how to take down individual weak points on armor, because they just don't know how to do that. They know how to stab and hope and very little else. And just loosely kill.
A training
Maim and
montage.
kill.
Yes.
Maim and kill. Indeed, maiming people is often a very good way of demoralizing others.
Did you want a small child?
Yeah, and I'm teaching small children how to steal things more effectively.
an essential component to any training montage.
Which I think Leopold will
people-
hold off trying to get an novitiate until maybe we see if we come back alive.
Yeah, same here for a maid for Greta.
Made for Greta.
I mean, Greta might be dead.
Yeah, she might be
Oh dear.
dead already.
Well, need a nursemaid for the baby at least.
Exactly.
When
When it comes to the time, Madam and I would like to prepare for war.
So, is anyone making any special
Yes.
preparations the night before? And if so, throw them at me. Let's go in initiative order, but backwards, so that those fast-thinking folks can go, I like that idea, I'm also doing it. Elric!
Elric's in a good place with it.
Yeah.
It's what he's trained to do.
It is.
He understands it. So he's going to spend the night meditating. Just
Makes sense.
kind of dissociating from it. Although he
Yeah.
knows it's happening, he's
Yeah.
also spending time for his own sake and his other stuff he's got going on. That's what he meditates on to help him with that, because it's been a while with all the camp stuff. So
Quite. And plus, there's also a significant difference here to what Elric has been doing in general. Elric is a proper trained swordsman. He was trained in the Bright College, where sword play and staff fighting is pretty much drilled into him on a daily basis. It's a part that he himself hasn't shown that much because he resisted the martial aspects of the Bright College significantly. But given that he's about to move into an area where possibly using his magic is deeply unwise, it's not just a meditation for what's to come, but a meditation for the change that he himself is probably going to be pushed into.
It's still handy with his staff.
Yeah.
Very handy.
Okay, sounds good. How about yourself?
Yuma doesn't really have much to prepare. I mean, she's going to try and avoid fighting as much as possible until, things go south. I will prank and, stop people from moving and things like that. But I will not hurt them until I can avoid.
That sounds fair. Okay, so she's basically thinking about the things that she's going to be doing the next day and gathering the necessary bits and bobs that she feels will be required for
and
that.
I think, the people that are being left in the camp, she's going to be teaching them like street smart stuff so that if they have to move from here, this is how you can hide in a big city, go somewhere where, you won't be recognized, blah, 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 and like making sure we leave them okay.
And how about our good noble chap in the corner?
Okay, yep, that's me. So, two things.
Two things.
Number one, I wish to tell a rousing, middling entertainment story around a, sort of adventure type, dashing, good-looking man, potentially a noble on the run, sort of thing. And how he once went into a castle, impregnated it, to say the least, and encourage everybody through a little leadership test or something on those lines.
This is in fact a storytelling test.
Yeah, I thought it
Leadership
would be.
is actually directly leading them.
And I'm not as good as that.
That's a shame, isn't it?
I'll still have a crack. Where is that again?
Oh,
Can we do the double act we did before, where I assist him with my performer acting and act
Is
out?
this going to be like where he made that child cry?
I'm not going to do that because I'm busy.
If that is the case, can I turn it into a small poem and with accompanying lute?
I mean, you can, but it will not be loot if you're attempting to... what is your outcome you're looking for?
I just want to inspire.
If you want to inspire, that is leadership.
All
but
right.
It wouldn't be telling the story, it would be referencing the story.
Okay, I reference the story.
So, okay,
into our current
and,
situation.
and it would then turn into a conclusion, which is all about what you intend to...
Can I make... I know I'm supposed to go after him, but perhaps Leopold could tell the story, and then you could then reference the story to get the
No,
leadership.
he wants to do it himself.
A good leader sometimes has to strike forward.
But the point is, I tell the story, then you would use my
No,
story
no,
for your
it's
leadership.
okay.
No? Okay.
Creative differences. Awkward.
Are we relaxed? And this is leadership.
Yeah, you have advantage.
Oh yeah, baby. 6 successes.
It's superb!
Yeah.
Now, what you really need is the talent inspiring. That would be
Shit.
marvellous, because that would allow your talent to affect far more people.
Oh, I do have
You're using
public
it.
speaking.
Public speaking is for charm.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Inspiring folk requires a different set of charm. This is not something he's very used to. What he does is he manages to impress some.
All right, fine.
Some. It's interesting because he himself has been in a position where he's quite used to giving speeches, but this is a very different type of speech to those that he's given before. And in some regards, it will be for him a useful teaching moment because he'll realise that the very things that he used, the rhetorical elements that he's used to bringing forward when he does his speeches, are not as useful, and indeed don't inspire. They're often making points. And you're not looking to make points. You're just looking for people to say, yes, I'm willing to go and give my life.
Academic argument.
Yeah.
Not the most inspiring.
No. And then coming down at the end of it going, I maybe could have done something a bit differently there, but it's good for him. And Sigrid will look at the side with a half smile on her face going, yep.
Okay, good to know.
Because she does indeed have inspiring.
Second thing, just to calm the nerves a little bit,
yes,
I would like to chew a little bit of
weird root.
Nothing too much. I'm not looking to, just chill out a little bit and have a snooze.
As we said last episode. And then I got high. Yeah. And then I got Father Leopold. What's his plan for the morning? Well, the evening before the morning after.
Can I just confirm what the plan is with regards to Barakul?
Stop doing that.
Alameno is carrying it in
yes.
the hopes that hides it. Is the plan for Birdie to wield it when the shit hits the fan, or not?
It depends who's near me when the shit hits the fan. No, sorry. when the
we already had that one.
The gyrocopter.
Yeah. Cool. In which case, Leopold would like to draw Birdie aside and offer her a divination for her wielding Barakul in battle.
That would be lovely.
So I will attempt.
Divination. Good to use these obscure talents. Do love it.
Success.
Divination. So what does success provide you with on a divination?
Provides her with a fortune point to use when wielding Barakul.
Oh, sweet.
He sits down and he tosses the bones of what he believes may be his ancestor or possibly St. Arnold. And looks at those and a flash of awareness comes through. She's going to be fighting a lot. A lot. And as you look at it, the crossed bones, again and again, you become quite aware of the fact that this is going to turn into a broader melee. There is definitely going to be significant conflict. She needs to be ready, she needs to be prepared, and she needs to absolutely ensure, that she doesn't do her normal and go for body blows. As to why, you have no idea.
There you go. There's your omen.
Go for the heads.
Yes,
and
or limbs.
Yeah. Okay.
Groin.
Yeah.
So I will take all that on board. Mm-hmm. Do I always like play to win, so good to have an inside track. Sharpening things, finding as many small knives as she can and concealing them about her person, because that's kind of how she rolls. But she will also take some time and ask Mother Sigrid for a blessing from Ulrich.
Yeah, I don't normally do that much anymore.
Well, I don't mind.
Look after yourself, The best blessing I can give you is, if you're not trained, don't do a thing. Ulrich, you can call out for him if you want yourself. You don't need me to do it on your behalf.
No, just thought it might help. This is.
It doesn't. It's one of the big.
Okay.
You've been listening to too many Sigmarites. You don't need to worship your god. You don't need to sit there and say, "Hey, Ulrich, do the thing." No, it's not about Ulrich. It's about you. It's all about you. If you want to be a good Ulrican, train. If you want to be a good Ulrican, be honourable.
Oh.
And if you're not honourable, maybe you should have a quick look inside your own heart and decide exactly who you want to be. Because if you don't know who you want to be, trust me, the dark gods will tell you.
I've been here before.
Whether you wish it or no.
Birdie walks away, feeling uneasy.
She's very good.
Very good. Super sharp hearing.
Yeah. She's very good.
Okay, what about Alamenoith? What is she going to do before the...
She will, much like she did on Mitterfrul, she'll find a quiet place. She'll ask Mother Sigrid if there's any clean water nearby, a pool.
No.
Right, well, fine. I won't do that then. And she'll divest herself of her clothes and paint herself for war.
Any particular comments on that?
Runes relating to Ladriel, shadows, veils, mists.
Probably across her face on one side.
And runes all down her left hand in red.
Red runes of Cain down her left hand. Lovely. Ladriel down one side of the face, Cain, bloody runes, and then trailing off down her forearms.
Nice.
Nice. Love it. Glove back on top of that.
Copycat.
And then we shift to the following morning. It's an early start. Everybody is given, if you don't have already, some form of haversack or pack that you can carry the food or anything else that you are taking with you along on your journey into the catacombs. Yes.
I have a question. Since we've been here for about another week.
Yes.
Loophole arm was almost healed.
Yes. Your arm's healed. Meant to bring that up. Good call.
Nice.
In fact, let's do yourself a heal roll so we can give an assessment.
Come on, you can do it, buddy.
It needs to be broken again.
No! I know how to fix it. Bang.
Heal or medicine?
Heal.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, 4 successes.
Superb. You think that the join is still weak, but it's thoroughly usable. You recommend that he doesn't put too much pressure upon it,
Right.
but it's holding.
Good. No nerve damage. All good. Everything's holding, but there is a little bit wibbly wobbly. All right. So no too. Yeah. Okay. Good. No, not shield arm. Basically.
I mean, it will be a shield arm when it comes to a
Okay,
fight,
that's
but only when it comes to a fight.
All right.
Once we're in the catacombs, shall I pass over the blade to you?
If you like. If you think that's wise.
Have you tried it yet?
If we're worried that
Maybe
there
when
are
we get
magic
up the other
users in
side.
the castle, we might want to just save it as a last resort.
I mean, did it to you? Were you aware of its magical?
But I don't really.
It's not your
More
strength.
experienced
Right, so
magisters would
Fair.
probably sense it. But
So I will carry it through the catacombs, and then if we need it when we get there, you can take it.
Sounds like we will.
Alamenoite sword bearer.
Yeah, Birdie, have you touched it? Have you drawn it?
I
she
haven't.
attempted to draw a little bit of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and okay, good. You didn't get thrown across the.
Didn't get thrown across the room.
Just-
So
just in case things are going really badly, and then you go, aha, and then.
That's one way of getting out of combat.
Well, exactly.
that's win-win. Really.
Disengage.
Sword floats out of the castle.
In my tongue, it is called Athar.
What?
What's called
What's
that?
called Arthur?
The sword.
All right.
Oh. Hang on, what you knew about the sword already?
Oh,
She's translated it,
I
presumably.
have translated Unyielding Wall into my tongue, so you
Right.
know if I refer to it in my own words, that is what I will call
That's
it.
brilliant.
Could you
You
say
have
it
our
again?
own name for it now.
Exactly.
Yeah, very good.
Athar.
Say it again.
Athar.
Arthur.
No.
Ahar.
Arthur.
No. Athar.
At.
Arthur?
No.
They gently bicker. As they make their way through the woods.
Genuinely trying!
And it's always the case when you're attempting to pronounce something in a language that you don't quite get.
But
There's an awful lot of inaccurate attempts.
it will do. It will do.
As the sun begins to rise over the forests across the River Reik, you find yourself down by the yawning, open, dark mouth that is the entrance to the catacombs beneath. Yes,
May I attempt an augury as we
you
approach
may
this
if you wish
location?
to do something. So sitting on the outside of the cave, he pulls out his holy
I'll
bones.
stand behind him, so I'm not in the line of the
Get you deflect up a bit.
And I would like to do a blessing of courage to myself, and then I don't know who's cool. Maybe this way. I don't. Him next.
You probably do. You
can
probably
just
do
say
the blessing
Gerard.
on everybody.
Yeah. I mean,
It's just that it'll only affect so many.
Yeah, but you've been making us specify the order.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, because of where we are. But in this case, you've got a bit of time. You can pass it out amongst everyone.
I have successfully passed. Unfortunately, a basic pass on augury doesn't tell me a huge amount. I correctly interpret one omen. I know if the location is good, bad, or neutral, but not why. I suspect, I'm going to call it here, is bad.
If it's good though, that's going to throw everything out of question. You do
Really?
realise.
Oh.
You sit down before the cave and look up at the stacked rock vegetation, much of it twisted with some form of almost unnatural life. The leaves are too thick, often oddly shaped and not filled with the uniformity of nature that you're used to seeing. And as you look up, it begins to die. The further up you look, the more it's just broken bits of bare wood sticking out. Twisted and broken shards of wood on that particular point. As you begin to realize what this all means, you think, oh, there, a bird. A chick falls and cracks onto one of the shards of wood, shattering it. The chick bounces off the rocks and falls down, shakes its head. You don't know much about this sort of bird, but they're quite used to falling down very long distances. It's how they learn to fly. Thud, 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 with a concerned parent looking down. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, indeed, the concerned parent comes afterwards, and it hits the ground, and its neck shatters.
Oh.
The bird, parent, flaps down. Looks, nudges, looks, and then just flies off. You're about to enter a bad place. Let's even add an adjective. I'm so tempted to say very.
That's where I thought you were going.
No. I'm going to add a little extra detail. And in this case, it's a place of, you think, more than literal death. Indeed. Your concerns that had already been piqued earlier when you read that earlier book all the way back in the observatory episode are, you think, possibly correct. Your concerns about what may lie inside the catacombs are possibly correct. This place may be tainted, but there's a reason it's tainted. It's tainted because of what has been done here.
Mm-hmm. So it's not just that there is potentially a big chunk of weird stone here, it's that it's been used for something.
And that use has tainted the place.
Yeah.
I will let you do a lore theology test.
I shall do.
I passed, so I can give a blessing of courage to myself.
Nice. Nice.
Gerhardt, and then who scares the easiest after that? I feel like the Father is always giving us courage, so I will give back.
That's very kind.
Give back a bit to the Father.
Plus, because I've got a thing that can stop anyone else running away, but it doesn't affect me. So that's potentially very helpful.
Did you pass that test?
Yes, I did. 6 successes.
6? Oh, no, that's good. Then I'm going to give you almost a quotation. It's a memory of a quotation, though, so it's not something that's certain. But this was in the Geistbuch, one of the core texts.
The Silver Flame.
Indeed, of the Order of the Silver Flame. And in the Geistbuch, there is a reference to the fell Lord of Undeath, whose life is ill measured by mere centuries. And in there was an interesting small snippet. Just one, sitting deep inside the book, referencing when Sigmar himself faced off against the great Lord of Undeath. But it wasn't that was particularly interesting. It was how they described the Lord of Undeath himself. Because he had come from a far-off distant land that had been tainted by his magics and had twisted everything in the local surrounding area because of what he had done. And the same is the case here. Suggesting that, if they do connect, that possibly his attempts to recreate whatever it was that was tied to the Lord of Undeath, as he noted in his own personal journal, has actually, to a degree, come to pass. Maybe in the past he successfully did something, or maybe something was successfully done recently.
Yeah. I mean, from what the people were saying, probably more recently, but yeah.
Which is a worry.
It is a worry.
You can do with that whatever you wish.
The signs are clear. This is a place of death, but more than death. some great necromantic working, I believe, has been undertaken here. That's the source of the taint on the land.
That figures.
I don't think even removing the weird stone will necessarily remove it.
Removing the sorcerer?
Well, it can't hurt.
With great prejudice.
But be on your guard. There may be things in the catacombs.
Fred, arms folded, goes, "Oh, fucking God, not going in there then." I'll sort out your torches.
Brave man.
Thank you.
Thanks,
very
Fred.
By the way, when we find it,
George.
what are we doing about it? Are we also...
There you go.
If that amount made this fire, is it still burning?
That fire is still burning in the village. And it has taken out around about, it's not much, it's only about, maybe about 15-20% of the town.
It's spread.
But it's spread. But it's spread and it's burnt out and it's back to just the fire itself at its core. It's like you basically effectively made a very small college of magic and that it's surrounded by a large burnt out area. You've made your own representation of that in another pet town. Well done.
I think we will have to neutralize the people here who wish to use this place for ill, and then send appropriate word to powers who can resolve it. It is beyond us.
Yeah.
Who looks after Weirdstone?
Is that not your people? The wizards?
The Light College,
More
perhaps?
magic.
I don't know. To be honest, well, wait for this.
Also,
chill, right?
Oh, yeah.
9 successes.
Nice.
Mine won't be that good. I passed, but
We have our advantage.
only one success.
You're aware that the cult has methods of dealing with it. Not entirely sure what the individual methods are. On the Colleges of Magic, Weirdstone is both one of the most excitable finds, in that it causes great excitement from everyone when they find it, and also deeply illegal. So that also causes a certain amount. You know that small amounts of it, just small amounts of it, can go for significant amounts of money. You, in the time in the college, had constantly heard rumours that someone was attempting to buy or get hold of a bit of warpstone or weirdstone, depending on the area, and often the prices going around were at 10, 15, 30, 100 gold. Just to get bits of it, because it can apparently significantly improve. Consider it like steroids in the gym. Yeah. It massively boosts up whatever it is that you're attempting to do, gym-wise, magic-wise, but is exceedingly dangerous and illegal. So that you are aware of. Now, large fines of it, that's handled by the upper ranks in the colleges. They deal with it and definitely don't use it.
Definitely. Squeaky clean.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely wouldn't be used for any legal purpose. It's as far as you're aware, relatively persuaded that it would probably be handled by the Light College, if it was a large chunk.
Mind those lads who tried to blow us up. Them, they'd take it.
But then we know that they've been infiltrated by a cult. Do we really want...
Everyone has been infiltrated by a cult.
Speak for yourself.
All the peoples of these lands.
I mean, no, I won't go there.
She already did.
All right. So what do we do with it? Well, it still brings the question of what do we do with it?
Well, as
good question.
As she says, we seal it up and we inform someone better equipped than us to deal with it.
We're not going to take it. We're not going to carry it. No way.
No.
I mean...
Giant rock.
It's not that giant.
Yeah, are you going in or not? You're just going to sit here talking about it?
Yes.
Says Fred.
Fred.
I ain't going in. I'm sorry. It's like I was told to wait to see if you went in.
Right, let's go. Leopold will walk into the darkness.
Thank you so much, Fred, for your guidance thus far.
You're all right.
Wish us luck.
Drip, drip, drip.
Tunnels.
Flap of something. Drip, drip, drip.
He'll get his hammer out just for, security.
Torch, hammer.
He doesn't need a torch.
No, you're right.
Torch. I don't need a torch.
We should have brought a mop and put it in a cage for, gas.
Yes.
Mechanic question.
Yes.
Elric's staff lights up, but is it a magical flame, and does he think that would be sensed, or would he feel that's safe enough?
The fire that he has in his staff, as far as he's aware, gives up almost nothing. He's also aware that if he tries to draw upon and use the torches around as a source of potential, actually, he'll probably put them out.
Yeah.
So if, for example, he tried to gain the bonus from their various torches,
Yeah.
suddenly everyone's plunged into darkness.
He'll just have his staff lit.
Yep, sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we do require some form of marching order. We have our little tokens there if anyone wants to do one. Sorry you can't see those. Our map cam isn't working, but I am going to move them over here so that we've got at least them out for our people here. So who's going to be at the front? I do believe the father has marched
I
off.
currently am, although if someone particularly wants to be in front of me, that's fine. But I'm
Game
put
terms,
underground.
Yeah.
melee people need to be at the front, right?
so it's probably fine for me to be in
Elric
front
needs
then.
to move up because
I
he
think-
knows.
I think Birdie should be at the front because she knows underground
Tunnels.
tunnels.
Yeah.
I will
Is it-
watch
is-
the rear.
Is it broad enough for 2 people to go abreast?
It is at points and isn't at other points.
When
so,
it is, I guess,
Side by
Leopold
side.
and Birdie side by side.
yeah, so I'll move you in loose couplings, okay, with an idea of who's in the front when you go single file.
Perfect.
Okay, does that seem to be fair? Gerhardt, are you happy there? Or
Elric, do you want
Elric,
to
shifting
I
cover
would
the
say
back with
Gerhardt
me?
next. No, Elric needs to be at the front
Why?
because he's not going to be shooting off fireballs.
No, but we might get attacked. There should be 2.
Yeah, I
we
suppose.
might-
Someone who can melee away
Oh,
at the
excuse
rear?
me, I have my sword, I can help. I've never seen you draw a dagger. No, I have. You absolutely shanked a guy. Yep.
Looks at your face.
So, and we'll
yes,
just
and
switch
me.
back to switch Elric and Gerhardt.
Elric and Gerhardt.
Yeah.
Well, I will go in the middle if Elric and Gerhard want to go at the back.
No, so Elric, I said switch to be next to you.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so it's Gerhardt Yume in the middle.
Excellent.
All right. Just a quick one. Right now, the person who would take on Arthur cannot do that.
I will go. Well, shall I swap places with you if you feel that you are equipped to stab to the rear?
I can stab to the rear.
How
Excellent.
perceptive are you at the rear?
What do you mean?
Well, I can see over him, so I can keep an eye out.
Short ass.
Excuse me.
I can see over both of you.
And Elric too.
I can see over all of you, but
Yes, that's
whatever.
fine.
Yeah, so
I will stick close to you.
Elemental
Okay.
Alamanwith
Before
in the
you
middle,
make-
so she's as close. Yeah.
Gerhardt where Elementalite was.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
All right.
Are we okay with that? Do you want to be swapped round?
That's fine, I can go. Yeah, Elric can go. Oh, okay.
And that's also good because that
Cool,
means
so for
No, don't leave
listeners,
Gerhard at the back.
Gerhardt at the rear, Elric behind them, Yume next, Elementalite, Father Leopold, and then Birdie as the vanguard.
and that gives us someone with 6th sense at either end as well.
No, Gerhard doesn't have. I don't think Gerhard should go at the back.
Yeah, maybe you 2 should swap.
You two should swap.
Okay,
All
Elric
right.
at the
Fair
back.
Yeah. with 6 sense, yeah.
Fred,
Thank
meanwhile,
you.
is just watching us shuffling to
We're just sorting our marching order.
Very important.
All right, Fred. If you tell anybody about this, we will find you.
Good luck. All right. Sigma will be with you and all that.
Thank you.
It says,
I walk in Ladriel's shadow, and that is all I need.
That and your bow.
"Bye."
And my knife, and my throwing knives, and Arthur,
Arthur.
and Birdie, and you all.
They're so noisy. Drip, drip, slither,
No, don't like that.
slither. You can hear the echo of a slither.
There's something,
Acute sense hearing.
Yeah.
Slither, slither,
there's
slither.
something slithering around in here.
You remember once. You were a novitiate. You were young. Maybe it was past your dooming. And you were sitting in the novitiate hall. And the previous night you'd been told a story by Habercorn, who had explained how when she was a novitiate, the halls where she was sleeping used to fill up every night with insects, just because that just happened to be where they rose up. And you could hear them slithering, scraping. And you remember that because you remember sitting in your bed, focusing on every single last sound because of freaking Habercorn. And you could hear the slithering of all the little insects. You couldn't. It was entirely in your mind, and you assume in your somewhat older years that Habercorn was sitting back in her office giggling away to herself, having
100%
terrified all of the children.
100% them.
But you've just encountered that slithering. You can hear it. It sounds dry and scrapey.
Does it sound like lots of little things or one big thing?
you're not convinced you want to call on that. It may be both.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Yes.
Lots of big
Great.
things.
Are you telling us about this thing?
Yeah, I'm saying there's something slithering around up there.
Well, maybe if, the moths are so big, maybe there is a predator who eats the moths who is also just as big. Maybe we could check for scrape marks across the walls?
What eat moths? Spiders. Spiders? Spider? Is spider?
Rats.
Snakes?
Giant rats.
Maybe
that
we
would be
could
ideal.
all be quiet now
Yes, please.
and whisper.
You make your way along the snaking. It's not a corridor. It's certainly not a tunnel either. And it's not really a cave, but it does feel somewhat natural. But as you make your way along, more fungus. Rising in small pillars and columns against some of the rock. And yes?
Just seeing the fungus
Mhm.
and aware of the, trippy ball thing we had.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the 3 masks that I have
Mhm.
and I will pass them out to one myself, because why wouldn't I?
Alumina has scarves, so
Yeah,
she'll probably be
she's
fine.
set. Elric, I've seen you breathe normal in these things.
Well,
You made beside you.
So you made
Yeah.
one for you to put
I'm-
this on, and then another one for.
well, I was having a similar thought that I might do a blessing of breath, actually,
okay
for the same
fine.
reason.
And
I
then
was
one
more thinking
for-
about bad air than
Birdie then. That's
fungus, because I actually don't think it helps with the fungus, but we might encounter bad air here. So attempt to
Miasmas.
yes, successfully, and if it's okay, because Birdie's in front, if I can convey it to her as well.
He mumbles a prayer. Doesn't want to speak too loudly,
Yeah.
given that there could be things down here, as he closes what is his metaphorical eyes and concentrates on his prayer, and asks Sigmar to, and it feels painful when you do it. Your eyes itch. Well,
Yeah,
the place
the
where your
sockets,
eyes once were itches as you do it, and they feel almost cold.
Oh, interesting.
But the prayer appears to have been answered in that your own lungs feel, if anything, cleaner.
Interesting. I guess that's the corruption of the very land, kind of being anathema to Sigmar, or Sigmar being anathema to the very land, or
Let's say either of those
all of
could
the
be the
above.
case.
Or anything else.
Yeah.
One of a million other things.
Slither, 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 slither. As we make our way along, we see our first maggot.
I don't like maggot.
That would be Birdie.
Yeah. Makes sense if that's the size of the.
It's fat. It's really quite a fat maggot. And it wriggles. And almost rolls slightly. And then wriggles again. And, almost disturbingly, pushes itself off towards the edge of where you're walking. To get out of your way? Or is it a coincidence?
Does it have teeth of any kind?
Nope, nope, nope.
So it's not mutated, it's just huge.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Not enough.
err on the side of caution.
yeah, I mean, can Leopold just whisper to her, if possible, just leave it.
Oh, I'm not touching that. Last time I did that, something exploded. I got covered in
Exactly.
bits.
Exactly.
We passing by the fat maggot?
Yeah.
Oh, horrible.
What if we catch it and throw it at whatever tries to eat us?
By all means, I'm not touching it.
I don't have anything to catch it.
You don't have a handy maggot trap? How ill prepared are we?
You will turn to Omelvis. Could you use one of your skulls?
For what?
Dress it up.
Pick up the mag.
Just leave it to go about its business.
I like to imagine it turns around
More
and
magic
nods and
test.
thanks.
Tips its little.
5
It's
successes.
the worm from Labyrinth.
When you were young, a lot younger than you are today, you used to sit at the feet of your mistress, as she was to you back then. And she used to spin you tales of things that were, and perhaps have never been. And one of them was about the rot worms.
Oh no.
Oh,
That doesn't sound good.
But she told a very different tale to the one that the colleges told you about, where they were almost etheric manifestations of particular issues in the local area. She told a different tale. She said that the rotworms were actually tied to the material plane, and that they were tied to maggots. Every last maggot had an etheric reflection, and that etheric reflection was almost like a tiny spirit, a demon of your being. And that some of them could manifest if there was enough corruption in the area. But large maggots could bring quite literal disease that can just curl its way into, and as you look at it, and you can hear her old crackly voice, you knew that that was a fake. When she was out at the moots, her voice was clean and clear. She just preferred to have a crackly voice. You can hear her old crackly voice at the back of your head warning you about the rotworms. And you look forward and see one curling in Gerhard.
Oh, yeah.
That's not good.
Twisting on the inside of him, curling around between the viscera that's held within his belly. He has some sort of maggot starts to follow after Gerhard slowly. Twist towards him.
I actually feel ill.
Ugh. Just my little belly boy.
Probably because you put that magic book over you.
No, it's because you fucking put a handkerchief
She's
Never do a
nicely
thing like that, would she?
Gerhard, you're being followed.
Yes, I know, you're behind me.
No.
What?
This maggot, it's...
Oh.
The maggot is indeed following him, actually, because it's behind now, and it's going a bit slower than you are, as it passes by his feet and just stops at yours.
Do you...
It just stops. It just sits there.
Have you heard of a rotworm?
Slithering. 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 Dry slithering, a lot of it. It's getting louder.
It's getting louder.
Can we just move on from this maggot?
It sits there by your shoe.
It seems to have developed an attachment.
It lifts up slightly, almost like it's looking at you, and then flops down.
It's slow. Let's just leave it behind.
Don't touch it. Don't.
Yeah, just leave it. She'll cute.
Another maggot up ahead, making its way down the corridor.
There's another one coming.
Alright, what do I do with this one?
Just
Again,
walk.
avoid it.
Okay, alright, should we just keep walking?
It comes down, and it's just making its way down the centre of the
So this one's
rough
not getting
ground.
out of our way.
It's not getting out of the way.
Oh, no. Well, I guess we'll get out of its way.
This one's got an
Maybe
attitude.
it's time for your significant challenge.
Avast thee, maggots!
Sprouts two big arms.
Defend thyself!
Don't touch them. I think these are rotworms. I don't know if this is the thing that you were told of, but
Nope, and heavy nope.
Is there like
All
an
the notes.
equivalent in the font?
Of this,
Of
all
forms.
manner of equivalents, yes. But if this was something that was an equivalent from the pond, this would have been the literal spirit itself. And indeed, that is at the back of your mind the slight concern that you have, that effectively whatever has been done here has somehow torn its way directly through to the other side. And this is quite literally not a physical creature. It's an immaterial creature that has made its way through here.
Like the fox looks physical, but
Yes. That one came through one of the gates and stayed with you.
cool. It's not worrying or anything.
There's another one. And another one.
disease carriers, stay away.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Alright.
they go quite slowly, so let's just
They do.
walk quickly.
Yeah.
There's not that many in the corridor up ahead. The passageway would be better as you're making your way along. But there's enough that you have to start stepping around them. and they all start turning round, following Gerhardt. Oh, now let's just presume it's Gerhardt. It might be someone else amongst the party, but it's fair to say that it's when he passes them that they start to turn.
Elric will share out that you have one in you.
No, I do not.
Shh. Voices down
Sorry.
and keep walking.
Could
on.
that be a
I've
metaphor for disease?
I've never seen it before. It's only when we come in here that I can see in your gut.
But maybe that doesn't mean it's only just appeared. Maybe that means it's
No, it's been
easier.
there.
It's easier to see because we're here.
How many are there?
But maggots. You're now reaching up to about 40, 50.
But this is why they're attracted to him. They're following us because they can sense.
All right. Well, can you? You can see it. Can you get it out?
You need a surgeon.
Holy shit! That doesn't sound so good.
How come you can see this?
I don't know. I don't know. They
Could it be?
quasi magical.
Could it be that he is actually diseased and you are seeing a physical manifestation with your witch sight of that disease?
No, he's got.
You think that that's a possibility? Okay, but whether you wish to say it or not is up to you, but you think it's a possibility.
No, they're not quite real.
Well,
That
exactly.
makes sense.
That is what I'm trying to say. The aether represents things in ways that our minds struggle to make sense of, because the aether, the only thing we can say about it is
You
it's
may
not
want
here.
to keep moving. The
Oh, yeah,
maggots
we are.
moving.
We actually
Yeah.
saying we
Yeah.
weren't stopping. We were
Yeah.
talking as we walked.
I think you are unwell.
Quietly.
I feel fine.
Here is a pot of oil. You have matches. If they start being too many, you can at least
Burn yourself.
burn them.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
It is a little bit disturbing to look behind you and see the
Trail.
the trail of maggots that are, well, some of which are rolling against each other, rolling on top. If you have to have a pause at any point, several of them are coming along, and you're not passing that many. It's enough that you just step over one, you move around one. Some of them do move to the side, some of them do not. They don't get out of the way of him.
Birdie was infected with something, wasn't she? Did we?
Very possibly.
Okay.
Birdie's a bit
And
further away
I
from
knew
you.
that a little bit though, didn't
No,
I?
I have an infection because you screwed up my heel.
That is
different.
correct.
Well, no, but did you know she was
Yes,
infected?
because
Yeah, but Dr.
Blaster
Foster has
figured
it.
it out. that
Yeah,
she wasn't
Blaster
very
said
Yeah.
that there was an infection.
well. Okay, you said it. A disease. Eric, can you see it in Birdie? Eric?
No,
Birdie's far away. No.
Okay.
But also, if you
And
can get close.
you feel things. You feel stuff, right? You know, people's feelings. Sorry, Leopold, I'm pointing at you. You can't see I'm pointing at you. Leopold, can you?
I actually can, even though he's got his back to you.
Right? Can you, is there?
No.
I do
you're
not
putting
think...
your hand out and
I suppose,
checking.
yeah, he'll pay. I'm not expecting to get anything.
Your stomach gurgles. A little bit like air is shifting through it.
All right, that's fine. That's not related. That's just something else. I had some weird food last night. It's playing up a little bit.
I'm presuming I heard the gurgle.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Yep, sorry about that.
It's like
All right.
You
one
may well-
problem at a time. One problem at a time.
yeah, you feel that as a slight discomfort, a little bit like trapped wind.
You may have been infested with a parasite, but I do not think we can deal
Parasites
with
are
that
very
just
common. The majority of the empire is infested with some parasite or another.
But we also
um,
know because of your.
You know, your little internal friends that eat bits of your food for you. Yeah, they're fine.
All right. Okay. Fine. Fine.
You are aware through your learnings as a physician that parasites are very common.
Okay. Let's not worry about it now. I can drink some stuff, and it'll just wash that right out. I'm sure. All right. Let's carry on. So I'm freaking out a little bit right now. That's horrific. Right? Can we agree with this? Look at this. It's like you've seen the sea. I presume you've seen the sea.
At which point do we actually deal with them?
We don't need. We can.
They can't
replace
have
these.
these
We don't
doors.
need to deal with anything. We just keep
5 minutes later, the answer becomes somewhat more apparent
Okay.
as you move into a natural cavern
Oh God.
that has a sharp drop off of about 3 feet and a shaft of light coming from above as a break in the ceiling, I suppose, from above allows sunlight to stream in. There is mold hanging down from there, some vegetation growing downwards and hanging off from the earth above. The walls themselves, as you peek into this place, are mostly covered with moths. The ground is maggot land.
It's the shittest theme park in the world.
And to make it slightly more disturbing, they all start as you draw close, pushing towards one side.
Are they afraid of fire if we use
We've all got torches.
our torches on the maggots behind
They
us?
apparently
They don't
are
care.
absolutely unaware of them.
I don't think they have eyes.
But
I
also,
thought they
they're
might feel it.
not of this
Plane.
material. I don't know.
And
Stored
that,
in ether.
sadly, is your route across. What is our plan as we have ourselves, it's not the largest of chambers. It's approximately 15 paces across. It's a natural chamber. It goes up at an angle. There's moths occasionally flapping across it, but most of them are attached to the walls. They're crawling a little bit. Their wings are flapping a little bit. This was the hissing that you were constantly hearing. The constant churn of what appears to be almost a sea of maggots. But, fortunately, as you have drawn close to it, it has caused many of them to move, which has allowed you to see that they're not that deep. It's not a big depth of horrendous maggots. There is a concern as to what they're eating, but what they're eating may very well be the corruption in this place. Nothing more than the corruption in this place. And they are swelling out from here. This could very well be the source of the maggots.
Plan is
And the
shove
moths.
Gerhart in and run for it.
Yes.
We're good.
The great or good. Are maggots used in medicine in the same way to clean
Oh,
wounds and
many
stuff
different
like
types. Yes, some maggots
Interesting.
will eat rotten flesh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
But they're only one type of maggot. There's lots of different types of maggots, some of which do not do that. They'll eat living flesh.
Yeah, so like maybe if you swallowed one, it would go at the
But
other
maybe-
thing inside you.
but maybe in a twisted way, that's what it is that actually those maggots are trying to feed on the corruption that's in you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's,
And
that. Are my corruption points going
that
down?
seems likely.
Are my corruption
Yeah.
points going
No.
down?
No, but the actual
David has
the
to
illness
feed on
in
it.
you.
Yeah.
They sense the illness.
yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. So,
Maybe we do take one, and afterwards we'll open you up, and then like.
No. Maybe we just make our way through and try and stop them. We're all wearing boots, right?
Yeah.
yes. Are you wearing
Now I am.
The maggots are beginning to catch up with you, the ones from behind.
We'll just gently nudge them out
Foot
of the
shove
way.
them out of the way.
Foot shove them out the way.
Push up. Not
Try-
particularly difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. No squelching, just.
Yeah, just
Be
nudge.
gentle with them.
Yeah.
They are not exploding. Did something go boom over there in the corner? How random, something's clearly fallen down. They don't explode on contact, which is good. They can be easily pushed aside. Their hide is leathery enough to not have any major issues.
Knock 'em
Push
with
them
a
back,
staff,
but they are
yeah.
beginning to catch up. And you realise that as you're sitting there confronted by this wave of slowly writhing maggots before you, this big dome of moths, the light up above, that some of them are floating around and spiraling towards in a very odd pattern and heading out, presumably the older ones that are off to go and join their pals out in the forest and maybe go to that fire and get burnt.
Just another service that the fire is providing.
Behind you, there is now a lot more than you think you may even have passed. As many as 100 are beginning to gather at the back. Again, it's not exactly the biggest of threats you've ever seen. The incredibly slow-moving march of the little white maggots.
I'm imagining the Benny Hill theme played really slowly.
But you are kind of caught between Maggot C and Maggot Pool. How do we intend to approach, I believe at the front, Birdie, Maggot C?
Well, I've got my barge pole,
You do?
and I've got my boots on.
Yes, you do.
So I'm just going to clear a path using my feet and my pole to just try and...
Yeah, no.
So I'm gonna
I
help.
mean, yes, in that you can stick your pole in and move it around,
Yeah.
but it doesn't clear a path. It just moves the stick around, and they're surprisingly easy to move through.
Yeah.
There's a bit of resistance, but not much.
But I mean, they're not any deeper than what about that?
Now, because of the draw through on the opposite side, they're not deep at all. On this side, they're about this deep now.
I think
Right.
we'll have to run.
And they're also a drop, just so we get an idea. We've got a drop of about that. So
Right.
there's about this much of stuff to jump into, I suppose. It's
Like a
Is there-
horrible
is there-
ball pit.
Is there?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's a horrible image.
That's it.
Thank you, Kath.
It's the Wrigley ball pit.
Is there like a lip at all around the edge?
Not really, no. It's just dropped down into the cavern, and they're all now sort of slowly pushing over towards this side, almost like he's some sort of maggot magnet. He is a lodestone for magnets.
Can we just...
Maggots.
What if you put down your shield and we can surf over the maggot?
No,
But I think it's.
What if we...
par for the course, but let's just burn the shit out of it all.
My only worry with that is if there's a hole up there, the
Yeah.
smoke will go out, and that might let them know that we're down here.
Why don't we just
Wait
sort
for
of use Gerhard to attract them, maybe carry him,
Yeah.
and they'll try and get up, but they won't actually go for him, and we can just go through as they move with us.
So who's carrying me?
Birdie and I are the tallest,
Fine.
I suppose.
Yeah, if I'm the stronger.
Birdie,
of the two.
as you're looking out over it, you notice that across on the other side, some of them move back, and you can see some water. There might be hidden depth there.
Right, I'm gonna.
There's
Test
not
it
on
with
the
my
opposite
pole.
side, but there might be hidden depth there.
Yeah.
It seems solid, at least within pole reach as you
Yeah.
move your barge.
So
pole
I'm
down.
gonna have to just kind of feel my way across.
So, what is the plan, my marvelous maggot-loving people?
I mean, I think it's just, certainly for us two at the front is to attempt to climb down without squashing any of them.
And so push your feet into the maggot
Yeah.
sea, try to get yourself onto the ground,
Yeah.
and then just sort of shuffle your way forward
Yeah.
with your
Wade
feet scraping
through-
along.
Testing
Wade
the
through the
bottoms.
sea of maggots.
Yeah.
Birdie,
I love it.
Wait, before we go forwards, come back.
No, but what if you stay here and then you jump?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Horrible.
But because then the maggots will have come here.
Yeah, and we
Very
can catch
athletic.
you on
and
the
then
other
we can
side.
catch you.
You mean I have to
Looking
stay
back,
here while
you need to make a
go
choice soon, or
forwards?
he's about to get swarmed by maggots at the rear end.
Well, they might stop like they did before.
We'll find out when they all gather round him.
Let's just as Birdie
Just
and
get ready
Paul's
to
gone
go.
in.
Yeah.
Okay, so you going down first?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've checked it. It seems fine. Put your boot down into it and push.
Yeah.
This is an enjoyable thing. Could I please have myself a cool test? It is for you, someone who has been through hell and back with this sort of thing, a relatively easy one. So you can flip fails. For anyone else, it's just standard cool,
Smash
and
it.
it is not with advantage.
I will reverse my 15 to give me 5 successes then.
Superb.
Nice.
You only reverse if you fail.
Oh, right. I'm on
So you pass,
success.
you got success.
I passed with 6 successes.
Superb.
Because you can't see them.
Needs must.
Yeah,
Father
exactly.
Leopold needs must.
And because I can't really see them in the same way that everyone else can.
You can hear them
That's okay.
as you push down and in. Right,
Just a
so
story.
let's see how careful we are as we attempt to very carefully negotiate our way through. Can I just have neat dexterity tests?
Dexterity.
Yes,
Man.
dexterity.
Not agility.
Not agility, that's large reactions. It's
This
fine
wasn't part of the
manual.
agreement.
Manual dexterity.
Why do you hate us?
I am not good at this.
Oh, being
Fortune
blind
point
sucks. Fortune point in that one.
Yeah.
Good start.
Nice
Let's get these
roll.
fortune points
Zero.
out as everyone starts to weave through
Zero.
years of
Zero.
dexterity.
0 successes.
Oh, this is
Years of
bad.
dexterity.
Can I be taking my time?
Yeah, you can very carefully make
Okay,
your way
4
through.
successes.
You've got a good path on the go. Superb.
25.
Yeah.
Yeah, 24 successes.
Very carefully making your
Yeah.
way through.
Not rushing because I don't want to pop them.
Yeah.
How'd you do?
0 successes.
That's
On
still a
roll.
success as you're pushing your way through. You've got the barge pole. I presume you're just sitting right behind her.
Yeah, or I'll maybe sweep gently with my hand.
As whoosh, it drops down.
Like
How far?
Yep, it's still going.
Right, so my barge pole's 10 foot.
Can
It's
I,
It's it'll be too long to get in here. There's lots of places you can't. I mean, you could put
All
it on
right,
its end. So probably about like a 6 to 8 foot one.
But still.
Yeah, but still.
But, so
can I perceive the depth with my
Do
Leopold
yourself,
senses?
you're going to need to do yourself test perception.
Perception?
Yeah.
This is where we find out that Leopold has sonar.
8 successes.
There is no bottom.
What? the what?
How wide is...
Yeah. What about a width?
Yeah.
Is there a sense of it?
Okay, so there is no bottom, and there appears to be a fissure from one end of the cave to the other.
How wide do we think?
It's not that wide.
Oh, that's fine.
You can almost hit the opposite end. It's not wide. You just
Yeah.
need to do a small jump.
Yeah. Or even for us, a big step, to be honest.
Yeah,
yeah.
totally.
Why
Yeah.
are the maggots not falling in?
They're coming up from there, I would
Or they're
argue.
all the way down.
On your
It's
side,
maggots
the
all the way
maggots
down.
have come.
all the way
They're now There's now too many for you to push back. They're spilling over your foot shoves, and they're tumbling over, and they're now gathering around you like you're some sort of little maggot god.
Shall we carry
One of them even rises itself up beside you. I mean, it might just be pointing towards your belly.
This is
Joe,
this is fine.
I stay on this side. You cross over, and then we can guide other people across.
I know we're being careful, but we
have
do
to
need to
go.
get a hurry on.
There's a drop. They're
Right,
going
so
to
for you,
guard
getting
the
across
two
this
sides.
is easy because you can pretty much almost see it.
Yeah.
You can hear the way that it's going, and you can just step over it. It's relatively simple. You can almost see the contours on the other side. For yourself, there's a little bit of guesstimation going on.
But
Yeah,
that's
but
why I think
Birdie's staying
yeah.
on one side, Leopold's going over to the other.
No, I actually think the other way. I think I should stay because I'm the one who can see my way across, and I help Birdie cross.
Yes, good
Seems
idea.
good.
That's
Yeah.
better.
Should we
And
also
the rest
get,
of
like,
us.
a
Yeah, and the
rope?
rest of you, exactly.
Like tie a rope on you two, and
We-
then
Shouldn't need to, as long as you take care.
And we will take.
I would like a rope.
That will mean you standing in a sea of maggots while we tie a rope around you, my lord.
I think we
already
should.
I'm already here.
Can we just move?
Let's just go.
Yeah, no, faster.
Okay.
Alamenoith will drop down gently into the maggot
I
sea.
do have a question. As you're attempting to make your way over, are you being careful, which will make it an agility test, a dexterity test, pardon me, or are you not? Are you concerned with more your own hide, or not bursting any of these little maggoty bundles of joy?
I'm being careful because
Dexterity test, then, please.
there's a. To be fair, agility's not much better, so it wouldn't make any difference. I'll use my other fortune point for it. Nope.
Okay, so
That's
what did
not
we
good.
roll?
94.
94. Oh wow.
Oi.
Why do the dice hate me?
Oh wow. Can I have from yourself, please? As she,
From me?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
because you're helping her across after all.
Oh, right. Okay,
Yeah, totally. I mean,
Yeah.
you might be able to save her.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. It'll be great.
Yeah.
You need to get a good grip on her. In fact, of all tests, I'm going to go with melee brawling.
Okay.
Get a good grip on her. It's effectively like a good grapple test. Effectively, go for it.
Nothing
I
wrong
mean,
with
I
a good
grip my
grapple.
hammer as well. Melee basic, no?
No.
For the pot. Assuming, I mean, have I got the advantage?
We don't have advantage.
Can I help by reaching out?
You can help by falling.
No,
I'll
I'll
do that
fortune
then.
point it. I'll fortune point it. Fortune point it. No, it's all right.
Good job, I've got swim.
Oh,
Oi.
Would you like to spend? Or just gain a corruption point
No, because
to
that,
get a reroll,
that will take
to
me
stop
into
you
corruption.
falling into a bottomless
Pit of
well
maggots.
of maggots. It's entirely up to you. You don't
Hobson's
need to,
choice.
but you could just call out to the horned rat. Call out to the horned rat to protect you, just like you did so many times when you were younger.
I don't think he likes me very much.
Oh, you're blessed. You're white.
look at your white hair.
You could do so. Blessed by the horned rat, don't you
You
know?
need your angel on the other shoulder.
Sorry, I don't know what came over me.
Well, I do. I don't think I have a choice, do I?
I
Yeah.
agree.
Well, I mean, what I will say, if I will try to be your angel, is remember you're not going to suffocate because you can't.
Oh, great! So you'll just
yeah.
fall forever.
So,
never
but maybe
die.
I can pull you back out. Like, we don't know how far you're going to fall.
Can I grab for the lip?
Oh, wait.
Different test.
All right.
But can I point out a logical thing?
Nope, she's where she is right now. She doesn't have you in her
That's
head.
fair. No, that is totally fair.
Damn
But the
it.
people out there know that, right? You've worked it out.
They're all going, what?
Yeah, Andy's too smart for us.
I know, I'm like, what is he even talking
What's it
about?
going to be?
I'm falling into a chasm full of maggots.
Yeah,
And as far as we know, it's bottomless.
yeah.
Can I
Just a little prayer to the horned rat.
try and put my barge pole round and wedge it across the...
I mean,
The
you
chasm.
can give it a go.
Yeah.
If you do so, there will be many a burst maggot.
burst maggot or drown in them?
What?
That's not even a choice.
yeah. I mean,
So, from where you're standing, over on the opposite side, Birdie has gone forward. She's reached out her foot to try and reach the other side. She's felt that there's a lot of there's firmness there. She goes on to what she feels is the opposite side. But it's not. What it is a lower lip on an otherwise not flat plane. Her foot goes on expecting weight to be taken. It is not, and she just goes down. She immediately reacts in an attempt to try and stop herself with a weapon. Well, it's going to be polearm.
yeah.
Because you're using a barge pole. So, a melee polearm test.
Okay. No, one failure.
You can...
No! 7 successes by
Hey.
just 2%.
Whoa!
Kind of, you don't want it to be that good of a success.
As it twists round, maggots fly in this helicoptering spiral that she creates. One of them smacks off
what we should
an
have
opposite wall. A moth flies off there at an odd twisting angle. One explodes inside your guts, Gurgle. As a twist, one flies right past your head.
Does his little arms come out and try to reach you?
Making little lovey eyes at you.
I love you, God. As another one hits you smack bang on the thigh as she goes down and she vanishes. Has gone.
But can I perceive her still?
Yep.
She's
hanging on.
Can I attempt to haul her up?
Yeah. Can I have from you an athletics test, please?
Athletics
Can
is
I
better
assist,
than
or-
dex.
You certainly can. Grab yourself out. Yeah, I'm going to go for an athletics test as well. We're effectively.
3 successes and
Oh,
a
good.
crit.
Oh,
I
good
passed-
timing.
I passed mine with
And 9.
4.
My second
Yeah.
roll.
In almost no time at all, Birdie is pulling herself out of this hellhole of maggots.
I mean, she's very highly motivated, right?
It's fair to say she's looked happier in her life, as one literally gets thrown out of the way, and one gets pulled out of her mouth as it attempts to make its way in. The worst part is that down there, many of the maggots are much smaller. Much smaller.
I'm gonna
And
get
as
to
you
the
pull
next
yourself
bits.
up, lots of tinier, smaller ones come wriggling out from your clothes. All those lovely secret little pockets that you have to drop all of your weapons into are now filled with small maggots. Loads of small maggots that you're going to have to scoop out.
They'll leave on their own if you just stand next to them.
Yeah!
That's a fair point. They will make their own way out eventually.
As
Please tell me I got out on the other side.
the very process of pulling yourself up kills some of them, obviously, as
sorry.
as their various bits squelch into your clothing, and you pull yourself up onto the other side, with Leopold looking half panicked because he could see just how far she could have dropped. Fast reactions have saved you on this day. As she pulls herself up on the other side, it's quite clear there's a hole over there.
Is it better or worse than taking a shower in an amoeba?
That's an interesting question that only her own personal experience can
She
answer.
ponders this.
As you reach over towards the other side, and there are many broken maggot.
Sorry. I've been taking it personally.
Can I have from you an endurance test?
Yeah, no, I think it's much more likely that they're spreading corruption when they pop. I think that's either really good or really bad.
Do I have an advantage?
You do not.
Okay.
Is it for disease?
It is not.
Oh,
Poison?
It is not.
shame.
No, I failed by 6%. I
Take a corruption point.
I mean,
It's a fumble.
you got to be more honest.
It's a fumble. It's a fumble, isn't it?
Yeah, and
I
it
wasn't
a fumble.
I wasn't being dishonest. I
Yeah,
had
yeah, that's
twin-
it.
You only have
Like
40
nine,
points
yeah.
left. You might
Yeah.
want to re-roll that one if you can.
I have no fortune points left.
That is a shame.
Because I
What a shame.
Rat tail incoming.
Well, you take one corruption point.
Yeah.
And you definitely, absolutely haven't swallowed any.
Right.
They're in your ears.
Corruption point. How's that taking you over your threshold?
I'm now at my corruption limit.
Limit.
10.
So
10 of 10.
Then you're fine. You don't need to do it till you pass the limit.
Okay. See, if I'd known that, I would have taken the corruption points
totally.
earlier. Oh.
Never mind. You're on the other side, though. Completely fine. Definitely didn't swallow any. There's nothing wrong with you in the slightest. Over on the other side,
while that was
got
all happening, like I had said, Alamanwith was dropping down gently to try to make her way
And
to
did you do your dexterity test?
No, I did not.
Then
I
do your
was
dexterity
waiting
test. What's everyone else doing?
Eric's in.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll
behind
also
Gerhard.
go
6
down.
successes.
Do I know I've swallowed the maggot?
No. No, you have spat some bits out.
Yeah.
And we're also not chill.
Yeah, this is not chill. Indeed, just to step into it, you need to do the cool test first.
Yeah.
Cool test first, because it is absolutely disgusting.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
6
You've got the
successes
blessing.
and then 3 successes
do.
on respective.
4 successes on his cool. Dexterity, yeah. I'm with the father on this one.
I don't think any of us are that dexterous apart from
Dex
you and
33. Just rolled a 32.
Oh, very carefully making your way through that.
Is this cool test first?
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So for
Okay,
you,
so
the cool
success,
test,
thank you for that.
you require 2 successes on it.
Yeah, fine, 4.
Superb. So you can choose to walk into there if you want. It is rising up to meet you. It is pushing up towards you. And it's pushing up towards you. The ones behind you are shuffling forwards in an attempt to get into you onto you beside you too.
Presumably this is coming from...
No, it's a 3-foot
Okay.
drop, but it's almost 3 foot worth of maggots on that side now.
from a narrative perspective, so like you passed because of the blessing from Ronald. So is it that he feels that he can avoid them, that he can outwit them, that he's clever enough?
did dance through the maggots.
Almost the exact opposite. I could just run.
Yeah.
I could just run. I could just jump through these.
Do it, Gerhard.
Don't try to be
That
clever.
sounds like a good idea. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yes.
Athletics test.
Of course. Oh, shit.
Weirdly,
Hey,
That might be
3
good.
successes.
you're probably the only one in the party who would have been better if you'd done
And
dexterity.
I'd like a single
Well, maybe not.
D10 roll, please. Tell me what you roll.
Oh, no.
5.
He looks at it, and you're on the other side, watching him. You're pushing your way over. You're now to do your test to pass over onto the other side.
Is that
the same for you as well. You're pushing yourself down, and then he just runs. He just jumps in and sprints over towards the dark gap on the other side of the cave. Because that's the way through to the next part of the passage, presumably. And he just sprints it, torch in hand, batting one of them out of the way with the torch as it gets too close.
Is he going to be coming like closer to Leopold?
Close-ish.
Just close enough. I was saying close enough that I can hopefully try and launch him over the thing so he doesn't fall in.
I'll go for
Absolutely.
the
Why don't
dirty
you do the
dancing
athletics test
lift.
as the nicest sister in there?
I got 6 successes to get over.
You're over on the other
critical.
side. Superb. And you half sprint, half jump.
And another
the
critical.
last section. Oh! There's been a lot of successes here.
So 9 successes all in.
Oh! As the father grabs you jump over what you think might be a hole, because you can see where he's standing and you saw where she went down. You jump and he grabs you in the air and flings you. There's momentum to carry you out of the maggot trail of doom that trails behind you, flumps over towards you, bits of yucky maggot all over your feet, and
shoes.
endurance test.
Can I catch him?
Endurance.
No, he's right past you now.
Alright.
And over to the other side.
Fortune points.
That's what I mean, I'm on the other side. Can I?
1 success. Not enough.
You don't take a corruption point.
Excellent.
Alamanwith will be sneaking to scout ahead to look out what we can see.
So you're hopping over to the other side where Gerhardt's sitting on the ground,
Yeah, she
somewhat
made her test
surprised. It was critted, so you're not going to take any damage from this.
Nice.
Okay, you clearly have landed in a relatively good way. How about yourself? Did you get over?
I got 2 successes.
That's enough. Over to the other side, and over as well.
Successes.
As you're now on the other side, and the maggots are beginning to swing as the tide moves. The moon around which they are obsessed has shifted also, and they're now, as that tide goes, pushing towards the other side, as you
get out of
all
this place.
hop up towards the
Oh yeah, you've got to jump.
opposite.
Elric would have waited to
Yeah.
offer a hand.
Well, I think because I can see, it's much easier for me to cross, so I can just step across. Because it's only about that.
Yeah.
And I can see exactly where it is.
Careful, which is going to require the test.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
And maggots
Yeah.
are slippery
Yeah.
underfoot. So.
Or we could pay for the hand.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Lupo will take the hand, but it's
Defo, it's a simple athletics test, and you can reverse fails because you're in a good place, and you can
good thing I can reverse fails.
because you will add an assist potentially to it.
I did not add an assist.
You passed. That's
5
all that
successes.
matters.
He believes he has help.
Yeah, absolutely. Hands clasped. You're over on the other side.
Yeah,
You
while
could have
your
done that by
handshake.
yourself.
Yeah.
Lovely. You're over the other side. The most dangerous of perils has been circumnavigated. We have gone over. Oh,
I mean, a bottomless crevasse is quite a dangerous
But
peril,
right.
to be fair.
Dangerous of perils.
I thought you were being sarcastic, sorry.
It was as well. It's a
The
double
maggot
win.
pit.
The maggot pit of doom. We have crossed it. We're on the other side. There are the occasional mothy thing floating around. There's bits of maggot all over you. There's bits of maggot within your clothing. The maggots, however, that are still alive within you are wriggling against your clothing, trying to get out to get at him.
Perfect. I'll move closer to Gerhardt and then watch them evacuate.
It's slow. They're not fast.
Oh, you meant inside her clothing?
Yeah.
That's not what I thought you meant.
Oh, yeah, that's disgusting.
No, I thought the ones that she swallowed were trying to get
Let's
out.
say that.
Yeah.
One comes out your ear, though.
Oh.
As it comes out, it's a really small one, about that big.
Birdie thinks for a moment and then sticks her fingers down her throat.
What does Elric see from Birdie?
What does Elric see from Birdie?
Yeah, so
Maggots
does he see
everywhere,
maggots
Captain.
It's pretty disgusting, yeah.
But is he seeing it similar to how he saw Gerhardt's?
Nope.
Yeah, she'll make herself sick.
Endurance test.
No.
She eats maggots.
I know how to make myself sick. I'll eat more of
No,
them.
but would failing an endurance test not see it? 'Cause if you
Yeah,
pass it,
it's
you'd be
not
like,
sick.
oh, I can't make myself sick because I'm too strong.
Take 2 wounds. And from this point forward, your voice is slightly hoarse. Or slightly maggot. It's not really a horse. Boom, boom!
A young woman who swallowed a maggot.
Basil brushing it.
Yeah, quite. Basil brushing it. You're at the other side. You have puked up, and there's apparently no maggots in there at all. You're clear. Thank goodness. Clear. And you're over on the other side. There's vomit. There's squished bits of maggot. There's bits of maggot inside her clothing. There's no maggot on Yume at all. She's managed to come out of this maggot-free. The maggots, however, are now beginning to crawl and slither and reach the point where they're piling up over on the other side.
Get through a door or something?
Yeah.
This is not nice.
And you've passed so many doors so far.
I think we just need to
None.
try and outpace the maggots. And
Yeah.
Yes,
I think we just need to try and outpace them at some point. Presumably they won't be able to sense you anymore.
Exactly.
Let's just get a move
Double
on.
time.
Okay.
All right, Birdie?
Yeah, fine.
Can I have a perception test, please, Birdie?
Yes.
As you're making your way along the catacomb tunnels, wending one way, wending another way, and then do yourself a quickish test.
Well, it's my native tongue, so.
Oh, yes, it is your
What would I
native tongue.
test?
You need to roll.
All right, okay.
No, you don't need to roll. It's your native tongue. As you, I mean, it's a language she learnt once. It's your native tongue, totally fine. As you're making your way along and you catch, oh dear.
Does it just say beware of maggots?
No, no, it doesn't.
Oh dear.
This is the process of some 4 or 5 minutes as you pass one, another one, another one, and another one as you're making your way along. And there's signs out from scout parties who have left what you begin to think is in the first one, a quick marking saying this is the way forward to get up.
Right.
The next one says it's been confirmed. There's no danger. Next one says danger, and a far fresher one. It looks like it's been marked with claws relatively recently, and it claims that there's humans up ahead in the tunnels.
Right.
As you move by the last one, that is almost a prayer, an excited prayer to the horned rat, because they've found warpstone.
Oh, well, that might explain this.
And whoever is down here is clearly deeply religious. unlike the general perception of the Skaven, there is Skaven characters of all kinds, and you have encountered the full range of them in your time. And this one here that is marking it is clearly deeply religious. And has chosen to mark out a prayer. To anyone else, it just looks like a whole pile of scratches at the bottom that could have been created by almost anything. But it's a clear prayer to the Horned Rat for its blessings. And now, Lord Skaven?
I've got Lord Under Empire.
That will be perfect.
No. Two fails.
Get nothing else. So that's what you know.
Okie dokie. It's not a surprise, because given that there's warp stone, inevitably... Sorry, weird stone. I would expect to see them, but a religious zealot could mean anything from somebody quite powerful to just somebody quite devout.
What it certainly means is, given that it's relatively recent, is that you may have a third party to deal with.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
But the fact that religious might count in their favour if they think you are blessed, so...
Not that you know that.
No.
Are you conveying anything, or are we pressing on?
Yeah.
We need to be careful up ahead.
Okay.
There's other creatures up ahead. You can see the markings. I've seen these in tunnels before.
You may would like to bless, like, that you ain't seen me, right?
Me too.
Can Elric try survival or track, I guess, to see if he can identify those tracks?
There's no tracks. That's scratch markings on the wall.
Yeah, but that could be like the passing of a creature. It may be in the woods. Wait a
minute. I'm thinking about what they've just been through and everything else. And yes, I'll let you do a track test. I actually think that's a very fair ask. Definitely given what's there. Good call.
I will do for myself and then for the people next to me, if I can.
Okay, so that's Alameda White and Gerhardt.
Yes.
Just make sure you're near me, even if I can't see you.
It's 2, I think, isn't it? So I don't have enough. Could I use a 40 point? I will use
40 point to get an extra success.
To get an extra success, and then I will whisper to these two, "You become invisible. Don't make any noise."
It's not so much they're invisible because they're completely visible. It's more that no one's going to pay attention to them.
I'll do my thing. Don't make noise if you don't have to.
I will nod, because she's done it before with you.
Does she warn us that this
is
is
not
happening?
Garham will immediately blow it.
Okay.
Like, yes, sure thing.
Are we pressing on?
Yes.
Out of curiosity,
Not fall backwards.
after you went to see me,
Yeah, right.
maggots?
Pardon?
Are the maggots still following?
That you're outside.
We're outside.
So yeah, you're not sure.
Lovely.
What
Good to know.
What about the ones on?
That she's got rid of it, I presume. The vast
Yes, I've
majority
been
of them.
scooping
Yeah,
desperately.
so she's now just left with maggot gut.
Okay.
Yes.
What remains of it within her clothes.
So we cannot test it.
This is the worst
And
night
sadly,
of
it's
my life.
not a testable thing, but very possibly could have been a good way around that one. We're pressing forward and we hit a junction.
Left.
A left and a right.
Yep.
Left, right.
Heading left.
We all
Yeah.
wrote it down. We've learned.
Any markings at this junction?
There are no markings at either the juncture or the junction. As you press your way down towards the left, the tunnel goes down and then goes to what almost looks like a dead end. But as you reach it, you realise it's not. It's just somewhere you're going to have to climb up. There's a raised area up above, and it's almost steps. Clearly, a lot of people have been up and down here. It's not difficult. It's a climb test that is easy, so you can reverse if you fail, and you can help each other as the first one gets up to the top. And
3 success.
5 successes.
0 success.
That's enough. 2. Yep, nice.
Same. No, stands to reason the first 2 people are the worst. Yeah, we go up slowly.
No, so you are now seen on the Ain't Seen Me Right front. As it breaks.
Actually, how are we going to help you?
You're not. You're not quite sure where they are because you don't pay attention to them.
Yeah.
As he comes tumbling down, reveals where he is, as he goes, ah! Oh, Gerhardt's there.
Alright, can somebody give me a hand? Come on. Do I roll again, or do I just... Is this
Just roll again.
Alright.
But somebody can give you a hand. One person will be able to give a hand.
Yeah.
Whoever
You're
wishes to
probably
do.
better than me.
And there'll be an athletics test.
Athletics.
On the other side, you've got your test on climb.
It's not. Is it easy for me?
Pardon? Yeah, you can take your time as you're doing
So
it.
6 successes.
Okay, yeah. She just grabs and she pretty much lifts you up as your little feet go, as you're pulled up onto, and then everyone pulls you up onto the top side.
Nobody notices, but Yuma goes.
We're up. We're on the other side.
Nobody notices, but Alan Menwith rolls her eyes. They don't even
I
see
can
each
hear
other.
eyes rolling in a skull.
You can hear something else.
Oh.
A voice just echoing through the tunnel. You can just catch it. One for me and one for you. Will pluck your eyes and leave it there as we go into a break.
That's a bit better.
Sounds that are coming, echoing along the underground passageways, abruptly come to a halt. And the father, having heard it, can hear no more.
And then in battle, he'll sign out, like, danger ahead.
And you hear, and you hear a voice go, I hear them. Intruders. I'm hungry.
He will flash out, they know we're here.
Yes. There's only 6. That will not be much of a meal. Only 6. Why didn't they send more to me? I asked for more.
Is there battle language for big? Question mark?
And then, that's the vibration of it moving.
Oh, shit.
You feel that through your feet almost as much as you hear it.
Big exclamation mark?
Coming.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Elric will drop back to him if they know we're here and they know there's 6. Let's just take
What?
positions.
What are you talking about?
What?
Oh, yeah, they know we're here.
Weapons.
Who does?
Who does?
Something.
Something is talking.
I've been heard.
I know it knows. I know. Great. Do I get any sense of distance?
Nope, it's just through the tunnels. The tunnels are bouncing sound, so it's
Well,
almost
I was
impossible
more
to
thinking like
determine.
perhaps with my Leopold
You may
sense.
wave her hand in front of one of them to see if.
That will bring you to their attention.
Oh, will it? Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
I'm just sneaking.
If you try to bring attention to yourself, it brings attention to yourself.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I would like to retract that.
Damn your logic, Kropotkin!
I know. Boomf, boomf. I will have to get my friend.
Shit.
In battle language, he has a friend!
I hope they're not in metal. I'd have to spit that out.
That feels like personal, and that feels like a dig.
Personal. It is.
Hey, you might find like a one that he
He
spit
might
out
have
in the
spat out
past.
a breastplate. Let's hope that there was a giant.
You can't hear
thin
this yet,
samurai.
sadly,
Are we-
because that would have been a lovely
Have we
comment to make.
stopped, or are we just walking
You're
slowly?
stopped at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And because it's very distant. Boom.
Alric's looking around in terms of positions we can take.
You're just in a long, thin corridor
Yeah,
just
it's
now.
just-
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's a good point. A thin corridor.
Yeah.
Not a very tall corridor.
Not a tall corridor.
Maybe it can't fit down here.
Maybe, but also if it can, it's going to take on one person directly. So it's not the best place to defend. Either we go forward to it, or we go back, and we know that it.
We have to go forward.
Yeah.
Can we all feel the...
Nope.
Okay.
Little friend. And you hear a voice. Oh, little friend. Food
Leopold
has
will
come.
start creeping forward while they're talking in the hope that he might not hear us as well.
Food has come. I'm hungry. I know. I want you to help. All right, I'll help. Yes, little friend. You will help. Or you're my next meal. I don't want to be your next meal. He says, I know, little friend. I have been saving you because I like to talk to you, but I am hungry.
Oh, that's nice.
It is you or them. Which would you prefer? Okay.
Suddenly a lot less adorable. I mean, it's not battle time, but assuming that the rest of the party can count, Leopold will be like,
He made the sign of Sigmar.
Sigmar's off
Sigmar
ahead.
says, there's
He's
a
just
big
like blessing
one
us again.
and there's a small one.
Yeah. It's now the time for all that.
Go and take your perch, little friend.
Go and take your
Perch.
That's your
There's only, It's only big enough for 2 perches.
So again, he'll battle to look up. To where up.
Yeah,
but presumably at some point we might open out. So yeah.
Okay.
Just stealthing.
How many is there? There is 6. They're cursed. 6? Only 6? Yes, I know. They won't last long. But I'm hungry too. You have more fingers.
Oh no.
This is
I want this
horrific.
dialogue to stop. So, he will suggest,
We'll puncture Leopold eardrums. Bump. There we go. We can't hear it.
Alright, Dan. If they know that we're coming, us dawdling here only gives them.
We're not
more
talking.
advantage.
We're walking. We're moving.
Go faster.
We're going to run and get up there out of breath. We're just walking at one pace.
You reach a junction.
Left again.
Left.
But there's 3 options. You have yourself, loosely speaking, option 1, option 2, and option 3.
Which one is the most left?
Yeah.
Option 1 is the most left.
Yeah. So I would go for the
Most
most left.
Hang on. Is this as...
You're coming in at that direction?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so this is
Yeah.
Andy's stage left as well.
right.
Yeah.
No, it's not my direction, it's yours.
Look, we'll go for the one
Oh,
that's
wait, what,
most
we're
The one that's
left.
most left.
Yep.
Oh,
one
so
that's
the
most
one
left.
we
We
want
want
would be
the
most
Sharpie.
left.
Yeah.
We
We
want the
don't
Sharpie.
need to specify
you're
numbers.
looking at.
We'll go for the one that is most left.
Yeah.
That's what we will do.
That's the one.
Okay,
Please.
cool.
We'll take the pencil route, thank you.
Because one would imagine the other one would have been straight ahead.
It starts climbing upwards and then bursts out into a wider corridor.
Well,
Almost 7 paces wide and about 5 paces high.
and that's a point to call the halt before we reach the wider bit.
Yeah.
Have a
It
listen.
yawns out into darkness.
Have a listen. Have a
Uh-huh.
sight beyond sight. Anything I can sense out there?
Do yourself an intuition test, please.
Can Elemenowith have a look? Like just sort of peek.
Do yourself a perception test.
8 successes.
Oi!
Get you. Paranoid? No.
Here's Salaminowite with 42
Yep.
successes.
You hear a skittering. Like hard feet on something. A skittering, followed by a sharp shing of blade and a sensation in your back. It's a worshipper of Cain.
Take your glove.
It's a worshipper of Cain.
Like, that's not good.
Ahead. Shing.
But I don't have a sense of whether that's the big one or the small one.
None at all.
Skittering.
Skip the ring.
The skittering, no one else hears, obviously.
Sixth sense.
Yeah, the sixth sense, as we discussed the previous,
on
it's
high,
always
yeah.
It's
on,
on its
sadly,
own,
because
yeah.
we're in tainted land.
Yeah.
Kind of pointless.
It is a bit.
I think
6
Leopold,
successes.
I think Leopold needs to share this.
She's down.
There's a
Like,
follower of Cain up ahead.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
The god of murder.
There's a god of
God.
There's a god of
she won't have said Cain.
Oh, okay.
I said Cain in my description
Yeah.
to Andy, but she won't have said it out
I
loud.
would have known like the right hand thing.
Yeah, that's
No,
it's
And
very
and
much
you
not
need to pronounce it
a
differently.
I wouldn't
than you
even
had
have said Cain. Yeah.
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 Said it in Elfie.
But she will probably know. Yeah.
Yes.
Alamenoith will know what we don't know.
6 successes. And she's right
You
down.
can hear. No. You can sense Up ahead, a very lost soul. Ladriel, for those of you who don't know, is the god of lost things. Not just the god of walking around in shadows. Ladriel is a lot more than that. A very lost soul.
She'll call out, "There is nothing so lost it cannot be found."
That's our battle cry!
"There is nothing so damned it cannot be saved. Come with us. We can lead you out of here."
What is going on?
Fuck it. I mean, there's lots of food upstairs. Lots, all you can eat.
There's a long pause. And then they're attempting communication. You hear that and you hear that. You hear nice echoes and drips. What do you think we should do, little one? I don't know. I'm hungry. Yeah, hungry. Yeah. I think it might be an elf. There ain't much eating on an elf. Says, reposition yourself. Right. You hear scrambling movements.
Do I get any sense of height at
They're
all from
not
it?
within your immediate sphere
No,
of awareness, so they're
Yeah.
beyond in the echoes.
Yeah.
And it might be coming from any of multiple sources
Yeah.
ahead, but because of the nature of the tunnels, the sound will just bounce its way down, and it's uncertain exactly how.
I mean,
they're
certainly
reaching.
he's not like there. So
Yeah, absolutely. He's
Yeah.
not. You're not walking
Yeah.
into the first step of an obvious trap. They might be quite, in fact, given the volume of it, they might be relatively distant yet. A good 50, 60, 70, 80 paces, maybe more.
But what we don't know is whether this is a straight wide corridor all the way,
Absolutely.
or whether. Yeah.
She'll call out again, "War is coming from the north. There will be plenty of food for you."
So pause.
"The gates sweep."
The pause continues.
And in the meantime, there's lots of them up there. They are in metal, so you'd have to spit that out, but there's lots of them.
Horses too.
I don't understand what's going on.
And then a voice can be heard quite clearly. "Present one of yourself to be eaten, and you may pass."
Easy.
Are you volunteering?
You
No,
may-
no, I'm
Not the elf.
But we're all elves.
Very good. Yes! Elves!
We saw you a mile away.
Oh dear.
Elric didn't say that.
you may well whisper to Lupo because then she can be really quiet and be like, "Would the fox count?"
Oh, that's cold.
What? No, the fox can't die.
What fox?
Oh, I see.
Good chat.
But
I
we
can
can't
probably
see
hear
it.
that.
Yeah, but
I
you.
can probably hear that because my ears. It's a rest.
And I don't know what happened to it. But it's a trick.
It is a trick.
It's a trick.
It is a trick.
Send one of them.
You gonna call for your fox?
Oh, the fox gonna hate me.
It does seem a Ronaldan thing to do.
It is beautiful, isn't it? You gonna give it a go?
Yeah, she will try. I mean, it might not even come.
Might not. Do yourself a charm test, please.
Oh, but she could go forward as the
But that's what I mean. I was going to
go
do the
into
miracle.
do the miracle where she goes forward as a
Ah, even better.
Yeah.
because yeah,
Love it.
we will send one of our companions.
Roll it. Miracle.
No pressure.
No pressure. That's 3 successes.
Pat, 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 pat.
You
I have to carry.
Yumi collapses backwards into the arms of either Alameda White. I
It's
imagine Alameda
Alameda
White
White,
into you.
'cause I was waiting
into
for
the
her.
arms of Alameda White, who gently lays her down.
No, I'm not laying her down. I'm getting ready to go because we might need to go fast.
As a fox pads across your field of vision ahead, and then disappears, tail flicking up down the corridor.
I think we should go.
You bound down the corridor, and up ahead of you, you can smell it. It smells rank. It's been down here for some time.
I've got to get so many stress points from this.
Yep, it smells rank. And it's that way. The other one, there's a second one. It's up ahead. Up there. It's high. Very high. You almost want to just dive down, duck, don't let it see you. And you're not sure you've been seen. Depends on what sight is like. The flickering flames behind you is enough for you to almost see, but not quite enough. It's getting darker as you progress onwards. It looks down, and you can tell its neck is long and twisted and looking around, clearly a mutant. It's got a sling. It's just a sling, which is holding like this. Further down the corridor is the smell. Are you heading towards it? What's everyone else doing?
I think we were moving forward, right?
Yeah.
Moving forward?
Yeah.
Because we might need to run for it.
Totally. As from above, you hear a voice saying, "It's a dog! Dog!" And then a reach from the darkness. A hand. The fox.
Oh dear.
Oh my god.
Can she...
You have no life anymore.
I was going to ask if I could try and dispel it just before, but I don't know.
It's not how it works.
No.
Sadly. You don't know what happens next, as you need to do yourself an endurance test, not to scream out as you return back to your own body.
Okay. No. Ooh,
A scream
Let's
elicits
just
from
let it...
Alamenoite's arms. And up ahead,
Run! Run for it.
Deal's a deal. Let's go.
it opens up. You can turn left or right.
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 And you head off down in the opposite direction from where that hand came from.
Good.
It's engraved into your mind, and yes, willpower test, please. Cool test, pardon me. Poor you, me, getting eaten by a thing.
Fred never mentioned giant hands and
Yeah,
maggots.
that's one.
As it came out, you think it may have been a spell. You're not convinced that that is a real hand. You think it may have been, spell may be the wrong word, an illusion. Something tricking you in turn.
But the death was very real.
Very real. You're actually pretty convinced that whatever is down there has literally nothing to do with the god of murder. That it's a faker, a twisted something else. You feel almost like, as you have been dragged down that particular corridor as you head off towards the right, you're almost in a story, and that you've somehow tricked some sort of... You don't even want to name it unless you make it real, because you're in a place where the spirit world and the real world are overlapping quite clearly. There's a part of you that thinks it might only be here because of you.
Oof. Well, we can talk about that later.
As you make your way down towards the right-hand side, across a small stream that has carved out parts of the internal cavern here, across an open pathway down a little bit and then up a bunch of leveled stones, which involves a bit of climbing. The chances of failing these climbs is really low. Everyone can do themselves a climb test. Reverse on fails. It is really easy.
Have you met us?
Yes, I have.
We're not
I'm
like
expecting
good
Gerhard to
brothers.
flounder at the bottom. Did you fail?
I floundered at the bottom.
I failed this all.
Oh, well,
Is
on
it-
a reverse
is it-
even.
yeah.
Oh, well
Is
done.
it an easy? Are we relaxed?
Oh
as we're
yeah,
climbing?
no, I wouldn't say you relax.
Well, can we take our time?
You won't get. You can't take your time.
No,
so
I
yes.
know.
So 5 successes then.
So yes, you can use advantage. That seems fair.
Oh.
Oh wait, are we using advantage?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
then it's fine.
You can take your time as you make your way up.
No, still fail.
Even
dear.
reverse.
Gerhard's going to need a little bit of help from someone. That does mean that it takes a little bit longer, as the voice from behind goes. I think I might still be hungry.
Quick, get Gerhard.
Okay, right. Shall we? Come on, give me a hand. Help!
Someone can do an athletics test to provide an assist to his climb test.
Spot on 4 successes.
Really
Yeah,
help.
up to 2 can help.
Really help more.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'll use a. Oh,
It doesn't matter as long as you've got a success across it. That'll do. It's not
0
difficult.
successes.
That's more than enough. As you get pulled up, yanked up, and you're up on the top side again, as you're heading off towards wherever it is that you're going.
Well done, everybody. Good climb. Good job. Nobody panicked. Onwards.
do we need to
And
hurry?
then,
Yes.
Yeah.
good. I sense a name.
Let's go.
Yeah.
There is holy wood here.
Oh shit.
Can we please leave now?
Are we speeding up? Are we going faster?
But still,
Not running,
Yeah.
but
It's talking about your sword, right?
I mean,
There's so many things that I noticed, but I think 1, it's doing illusions. 2, maybe it's my fault. But maybe worry about the one we're far away.
Anyone who is here who can cast magic may, if they wish, do a dispel.
Yeah.
It's entirely up to themselves whether they wish to do a dispel, because obviously it does to a degree mark out that you are capable of doing so and that you are doing it. It's possible it will be sensed.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, both of them
Well.
teaming up.
Oh, crit.
what?
Oh.
You son of a gun!
Roll again.
What have I just missed?
He was winding me up, making me think you can secretly cast magic.
I didn't roll mine.
So that was
do you get-
15 successes.
Good one.
4 successes. You have 4. Yeah.
Where's the elf bullshit now?
Yeah, and I had to spend a
Wizard
fortune
bullshit.
point for that because the first one was not good.
An onrushing of twisting magic. Unexpectedly strong. And you're
Onrushing or
in rushing, perhaps from behind. Actually,
yeah.
that would be fair. And what begins with you attempting to just throw a little bit of actually into the centre of it turns into you throwing almost everything you have into it, because the power that's coming against you is far higher than you expected. But fortunately, all the training has paid off. As you push and you push, and whatever was coming, and you do not know what it was, breaks up into spiraling filaments of colour, several of which arc and try to reach her, and you twist
But that's
round.
okay because I get 5 successes and I get rid of those bits.
You twist round to get, and indeed, Alamenawai is throwing small shards of Ulgu into
Really
the centre of them.
pathetically small
And
shards.
all that does is it doesn't break it up at all. It just confounds the spell's senses as it goes off into different directions and hits the sides of the cavern. Oh, that's bad.
I don't think
This
I could have
is
stopped.
powerful.
I
Whatever
don't.
that is,
I couldn't have stopped that.
No.
I don't know if I can fend off
Come on.
another one. Let's.
Keep going.
From your perspective, you just saw him going, "Wah!" and her go.
No whispering.
Yeah. There we go. Heading off down the corridor, and we hit a junction.
Did not like that.
Left.
Left. Quickly.
Going at, again, choices. Cautious speed, standard speed, or are we moving at a more of a quick half-run jog type thing? You've got more than enough lighting, nothing's going out.
I'm pushing for a
Half-run jog.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
pushing our way down that way.
But maybe just every now and then just slow down for a second so Lupo can have a listen. And then... There.
And we hit an actual corridor carved out of the stone. And it splits in that way and that way.
Right.
Right.
We're going right.
Have we been going up a little bit?
You've been going up all the time, going up climbs, up various inclines.
Every single one of us on our sheets have got LLRL.
Yeah, but and Kath and I have been ticking them all as we go past. Not going to fall for that again.
You make your way along and find yourself in a small chamber. There's a ladder that goes up, and the ladder is mangled in many places. It's a bit slimed on one side and is a bit damp. It's greenish in your current light, and it goes up towards a trapdoor.
Don't you open that
Trapdoor.
We are the something.
Because there's
down
something
there.
up, down. Wait a minute, you're the bad guys in this. You're the monsters from down below. What's your plan?
Shall I?
Any quickish sign here?
Any?
Quickish signs. Have they come this far?
If they haven't marked it.
Can Leopold centre himself and try to sense if more sleep has risen yet? No.
And nor do you think it will for some time.
We saw the light, and that was only.
Yeah. I think it's a long time from dusk. I guess we wait here.
If it helps,
Pop
the
a trap out there.
The one that can move is a mutant, but had only a sling. Like, I don't think.
I do think we said that we would trap behind us.
Let's
So
trap behind us, so at least we get sound, we get something.
So you're heading back to do his trap? Who's doing the trap?
just at the junction, maybe.
You may and Almenowin? You may?
I don't have to.
I do.
Oh,
A maximum of one person can assist in this one.
okay, so we'll,
Yeah.
So do the test between
Mine's
you.
not great, so.
Okay.
As long as one of you succeeds, that'll be
Because it's
good.
dex based.
Can we take our time? I mean, we've got hours.
Yes, of course you can take your time.
Oh, I didn't need to take my time. 5 successes.
I'm not helping at all. I'm
Okay,
sure.
yes, she
I'm just
deftly pops it into place, puts it across. Now,
I
what's
roll
our
my
plan?
die. That's
We've
what I'm
set a
thinking.
trap further down the corridor.
I guess we wait.
Passing between.
Shall I climb and test just to make sure?
I suppose, yeah, just in
Yes,
case.
test the thing.
Up
Okay.
the ladder,
Yeah.
avoiding the slimy bits,
Yeah.
because ick. As you reach
Shall
the
I-
top
shall
and
I come up as well so I can listen?
Well, she's got quite sharp
Oh
ears.
yeah, that's fine.
You can send people through it, right?
yeah, there's no sound, which seems almost unlikely given that there supposedly might be beggars or some equivalent.
Leopold will come
She'll
up as
come
well.
back down.
Hop down, Leopold goes up, and
And try and listen, but also sense beyond it in that way that he can.
it's an open vacuum. There's a space on the other side. Sound is echoing across that. As you move your hand, you can feel the sound thrumming through and just bouncing off of what appears to be a room up there. It does not appear to be open air. It doesn't appear to be a ruin or anything similar. This is not as far as you need to go. You're pretty convinced.
Right. Let's.
Shall I? Yeah. Try and push it, does it?
Where's that oil? Seriously, oil.
There we have
There's not really much else I can do. I've committed now.
As it creaks open, and it's a dark chamber up ahead. For the rest of you, for you, it's just an open one.
It's a chamber.
This has a chair in it over there, a table. You can sense there's some rags. It smells relatively bad in here, stale, a bit musty. And there is, you think that's another trapdoor that's going up further. There's a small ladder going up to that one too.
Cool.
I think we'll,
You'll kind of lean
Climb
over
up.
and go.
we'll go up and shut the door behind.
So up to the top, as you get up here and the torches arrive and you get the place lit up, that trapdoor has been battered to bits. Someone has clearly tried to break through, but it's mostly made of metal
From
From
this
this
side.
side.
from this side.
Hmm.
Claw
Is there
mark?
anything heavy in this room?
There is you,
Yes, sir.
But nothing
Table and
particularly
the-
heavy. There's the
Like,
table
are
and
they
chair,
just like-
which has not been broken, but yeah.
Yeah, like it'll
that's it.
slow them down.
Just think you put it on top of the trapdoor.
Yeah.
Table flips, and then we sit on it.
There's also one other thing worth pointing out. It has a lock on it. And it's clearly been locked on this side as it's been clicked into place and someone has tried to bash it down and failed.
Interesting.
So regardless of what the previous Fred perspective was, they've clearly locked this place up and they've locked it on this side.
That's weird.
Stop escape.
Yeah, stop people getting out, not people getting in. That's worrying.
If that's where they're keeping the villagers, that would make sense.
Who's good with locks? Well, you bash them open, Birdie. I don't know.
No, I was pointing at these two.
Oh, okay.
Not me.
They're giving the Fonzie.
Yeah.
Subtle is not mine. It's not mine.
I mean, we're all good at locks in our own way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we just approach them differently.
Not spiritual locks.
You may
That's what
go
we have.
have a look at it to see how
Yeah.
easy it would be to lockpick.
Okay, this lock has been badly bashed. The actual lock itself looks like a simple mechanism. If there was someone who was aware of how to pick locks, they'd have probably found it a lot easier, indeed, much easier, because whoever has attempted to get in here has failed. You're also going to guess that whoever attempted to come in here is a little bit slimy, given that the lock itself has a small amount of slight corrosion across it. And looking at the chair, it's a similar corrosion, but dried, so they've clearly been here and gone. But there's enough that's still down at the bottom that suggests they've been up here recently and then decided not to come up. They were like, yeah, no, and they've hiked it off somewhere else. But that lock, it doesn't look that complicated as you're sitting there at the top of the ladder looking at it. I mean, assuming it's not broken,
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to actually pick it to find out.
Sure.
But assuming it's not broken, yeah, it shouldn't be too hard.
Did the long-necked person look slimy?
Didn't see enough of him. All he saw was his long neck poking out and having a look down, and then a hand with a sling.
Do you want to try and pick it? Alman Rifle, like, quietly.
A scream echoes out from beneath you,
Below.
from below.
Like I say, Leopold is like waiting by the trapdoor.
You're not on it.
And a clear no, but with perhaps a little bit more no. Ah!
Oh,
Ah!
From down
Ah!
he's beaten.
I think he's eating his little friend.
Not a euphemism.
I think we probably want to at least pick it so we can get
drink
into the
it.
hurry if we need to.
Definitely.
Can Alamenoid come up and can up and help, or is it not enough?
It's one
space?
person to pick
Yeah.
on a lock.
I'll try.
Okay, drop your picks in.
Crit.
Nice.
Oh, wow, okay, roll again.
Good
Make
job.
sure you take your first number.
So that's 2 successes, but a crit.
Or 2 successes, that'll be enough. Okay, click, 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 click as it springs open. And required a crit to open it.
No.
Oh wow!
Yay!
Because it was broken. As click, you've got it. This lock will not be used again. In fact, you don't think you'll ever be able to close it again properly. Or if you do, it's not opening. The mechanism inside is largely broken, but you just managed to push up and click. You're kind of secretly delighted. Feeling really good about yourself for having broken into that lock. But it's off, and yeah, you can push into there if you wish to do so.
We'll motion. Alamenoid will motion for Yumi to come back down and
And then you will
Leopold to
show her the lock. Because nobody else will understand. It was broken.
like we'll have do you think we can lock it again?
Up above. It's another room, but this one is damp, musty, and in size it's about, you'd guess, about 8 paces by 8 paces. Again, another ladder going up to another trapdoor. This one, however, you can hear sounds from above, groaning, moaning. I just want in. How'd you go off? Is what you hear.
Go hard stomach.
And we'll quietly relay that to everyone.
Sorry, so they're in the room above us. or the room
There's
above
another
the ruins.
room, and then that noise, right?
So we could go up one more room if we went very quietly.
That's right.
What did they say?
Yeah.
What did you think they said?
They just want in.
They want in.
Yeah.
Maybe if they trap people there, they probably haven't been feeding them.
What would you
They
want?
might want. They might
Or
want in
they're
the
probably
Into
there
the
to
keep.
feed what's below.
Or I was thinking more. They want into the castle to be
Yeah.
healed. That if that's the promise that they're making to them.
Oh, you think sort of plague-esque victim sort of thing, and they want to get
Or-
be
Or
healed.
corrupted by rot gut.
Interesting. Oh, yes, that's a good point as well. Definitely, they wouldn't be feeding them downstairs because the lock was on the wrong side. Sorry. So the lock was on the wrong side, so you couldn't, if you,
So do you think we can go up one more?
Yeah, I think the room directly above is empty, and then another room. But let's
And
be
then
quiet.
we can try and put the lock back on the outside so they can't come after us.
How are you going to put it on the outside? You'd have to close it and then magically put your hand through to lock it?
No, like, lock it on the other side.
Oh, you mean on the one up above?
Yeah.
Ah, got you.
If there's a
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
We can.
So you're moving up into the... this room is, unlike the one below, pretty stinky. It's pretty stinky. The other one was a little bit off, but this one's proper. Ugh, yeah, there's been people in here who smell at some
I was
point.
going to say, is this the one that the people above have been using as a privy?
It's not that stinky.
Okay, that's good.
There is a certain amount of stale urine,
Silver lining.
but it's not that stinky.
Acceptable amount of stale.
Yeah, it's a standard
It's
amount
disgusting.
of stink. Yeah, and
The
The
end
stink
times are
quotient is-
surely upon us.
yes, that. So we're now in, let's call it the basement to the whatever is above, the cellar perhaps. The room that sits underneath, you presume the groaning peasantry that sits above. You've got possibly quite a long time to wait. Have yourself some food.
Disguise ourselves
Break.
as peasants.
If you wish to disguise yourself as peasants, should you have taken a handy disguise with you?
I've got Master of Disguise. I don't need to disguise and look like a
I mean,
peasant.
some of us don't look a million mile off peasants anyway, to be honest.
I'm fabulous all the time.
This is fair. So, are we just waiting?
I think so. I mean, again, unless there's anything obvious we can use to weight this trapdoor down.
Nothing in this place at all except for bits of broken wood that's old and a bit rotted.
I mean, it's better than nothing, because that might give us a little warning, perhaps.
Things are moving.
Does Elric know Yume's surname? Has she ever introduced herself?
Golden.
Goatson.
Godson is the
Because
one.
that's what the guy said.
Yeah.
But would he recognize that?
Well, I recognize. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Why? You said something about you think you caused this.
Quiet voices.
Yeah. Dan can't do a quiet voice. He's doing an accent.
Elric is whispering.
This is Elric's whisper. So!
He's not quite Brian Blessed yet.
Die!
How do you know your name?
I don't know.
Perhaps it tasted her name when it ate her.
Can you know?
Yes. Give me your hand.
Well, you know her name.
God. Licks the blood.
Do yourself a perception test, please.
Oh god. Ferdy is the worst person to do that.
One success.
I've been
One
bathing
success.
in it. I
Take
tasted
corruption.
maggots.
I mean, you're lucky you didn't
Oh,
just
yeah.
get stabbed in the face, Alan, in a while.
I'm still thinking about it.
Human. Approximately 60 years old.
Oh.
You are a human and approximately 60 years old.
What?
I'm doing a perception test. The beggars have failed. Maybe.
Beggars believe.
60.
She's not 60. Look at her.
Do me.
Cut your hand. Just a little.
Taste buds.
Do what?
Perception test.
This is how disease spreads.
4 successes.
Elves are very clean.
This place is
Human blood.
corrupted.
That's an interesting flavor. That's you can almost sense the Nordland. It's the same as the humans that rather foolishly attacked the Laurel Lord in the north. You've tasted this before. Nordland.
That's ominous.
Killed his whole family.
You're the reason I'm an orphan.
Before. She's tasted it before when people foolishly attacked her with some. From Nordland. Your blood.
Nordlander heritage would be better, yeah.
Interesting.
Wait.
How
Does
old
this
is he?
mean that-
80?
I can't tell.
Does this mean that Birdie is technically older than you? You're this version of you?
Yes.
You're the oldest member of the party.
And I smell of maggots. Worst day ever.
How do you not know that you're 60?
That's a good point. How do you not know you're 60?
I don't know.
Well, you don't look 60.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you carry it very well.
Well,
Is that why your hair's white?
No, it's always been white.
Well, maybe your memory's gone because you're 60.
That happens.
I have
People,
seen,
when they get a little
I have
senile.
seen that happen to
I
humans.
officially hate all of you.
There, do you want to sit down? We'll put a blanket over your knees.
Come here.
I mean, it's possible you're wrong. You know that.
I could be wrong.
I'm going to need the broom fang sooner than I expected.
Don't put your hip out.
Is it just blood? Can you do it without things? Like spit. Nothing else.
Yes, it has to be.
Girl, you're gonna spit it on him. Yeah, you like that.
You like that, don't you?
Hobby gobby.
Oh, shut Right, stop crying. Continue on.
It is just the taste of your soul. So the more close it is to your soul and your spit, probably. Well, would it work?
No.
No, it would
I
not.
was thinking just so you don't have to cut. Yeah, I lick my hand and you lick the hand. I'm not going to spit on you.
No, it
I'm
is blood.
assuming you've kissed humans before, so surely you'd know.
I do know. It is not spit.
Okay.
Or any other fluid other than blood.
Sweet. Well, not sweet. Yeah.
That would
Anyway.
be very distracting otherwise.
I mean, we've nothing else better to do ever. But just wait.
Right, let's
Go
do
on,
it.
go.
Test. An amusing and unexpected aside.
I say I'm not from Talabecland, I swear.
3 successes. Perception.
Human.
Unless he's a troublemaker, then I get
Human.
+1.
Human, young. It's got a host of flavours you don't recognise. And is... Now, as you say, you get things wrong, but you would have said female.
I would have thought you were a woman.
He looks at his back and he's got his fancy dress.
I have not tasted your people's blood, but do you... Your soul tastes female.
That makes sense. It's not really a... What?
Well,
Well, there's
souls...
no real difference in Talabecland. Man, woman, everyone's the same.
What?
Karen's right.
Over in your neck of the woods, like, men have all the power usually.
Yes.
That's not really the case. Like, the leader of my family's a woman, or sometimes it could be a man, or it could be a woman. There's no real...
No, I understand that as a power structure, certainly. But, okay. Sure.
It's kind of like Venodons. When you get really good at disguising yourself, you kind of could be anything.
Also, you could be a soul brought back, reborn into a different...
Oh, right.
Or somebody else.
So you...
That's a whole different thing.
But your people believe in reincarnation.
They do, right?
And the druids do, yes.
Yeah.
So you could have been a woman in a former life.
Could have been.
That
Wow.
makes sense. I think you were.
Don't think so. But
So you might not be 60. Well, no. You may...
Are we
interesting.
smart enough to put 2 and 2 together about the book that we read and the, female...
I think you're smart enough to make whatever conclusion you decide to make.
Wasn't there someone in the book, in the journal, who was a woman? How cool would it be if that was your,
who? Maven?
Yeah.
Who's alive today?
Well, I don't know.
Have you never
What
heard
about-
me moan about her? Like, Maven is the one who rules my life.
There's multiple people called Maven.
No, that was the Maven. It makes sense.
Okay.
She's a bloodwalker. It was in the story.
Oh.
Fair enough.
So presumably
not
she
very
might
many.
know. Or is that not what you mean by bloodwalk?
She is the one who set me on this path and told me I was someone else reborn. That wasn't true.
So you do not know who you are reborn?
Well,
If anyone.
she also could be saying the truth, but then telling me it's a lie, so I can do what she wants me to do while thinking that I'm doing what I want to do. And my family are awful people. And that's why I'm angry so much.
So who do they think you are?
Daniel. What was
Dane?
Dain?
Dain.
Yeah. They thought I was an old king, Dain.
Dain.
And I was sent to meet his descendants, and they said no, that's not him. Although she still insisted I was. And then she told me I wasn't. Stuff happened, and I found myself in the Bright College.
Maybe you're Dain's lesser known sister.
Well, I don't know. I've
Really
kind of
not.
stopped believing in it all. But I'm going to look up this Anway person because
Anway.
I've never heard of it.
In my vision, there were 3 faces.
What vision?
What vision?
My vision about you.
Oh, I don't think I ever heard. I think I...
Oh.
Half-truths? No, so fucking what? You tell us about your vision. 3 faces.
Yeah, there were 3 faces looking down at him with the weight of expectation, and his head was bowed because it was too much, and he felt he disappointed them.
Do you feel like you're disappointed?
I disappoint everyone.
You don't disappoint us.
You have never disappointed me.
You're a true ally, a stalwart friend.
I'm just trying to think who you have.
God!
You may well
You
actually-
disappointed me daily, Mike.
Yes, but you would prefer that I be honest. I don't think you have.
That's true.
Do you want me to taste your blood now?
I think we all do.
5 daggers.
2 Brutus? Sure. Okay, I suppose.
Wait.
What?
But isn't he like infested with a rock horn? Is that bad for you?
No. That would probably not be good for my
It's
health.
okay
Oh, I
to
was
lick
thinking that
me,
would
who's
actually be
been in a
interesting.
chasm full of maggots. You were fine with
You
that.
are a rock. You are pure.
Oh, thanks.
But
Even if
I
am
want-
old.
No, okay, fine, don't do me. Okay, but, yeah, do you, man.
All right.
I'll pay a crown.
Do you, mate? Perception test.
99? I'll spend a fortune point.
Gnome.
6 successes.
6. She's barely human at all. Barely human. She's closer to demon than human. She's closer to spirit than human. Her entire soul sings through you. It's addictive blood. Do yourself a willpower test. Cool test.
She might do me.
Who had Alameda White goes full vampire?
1 success.
That's enough.
I
Oh,
always hate
but
too
yep.
much.
Oh, yeah. Just for a brief moment, your soul sung with hers, and you wanted more. But you tamping. No, tamper. Her blood is unlike anything that you have ever encountered. You do not recommend that any Druki ever be let close to her, because she will become theirs. They will do almost anything to secure her. Yes.
If the thing down there knew her, maybe we should bind that wound up very, very tightly.
It sings.
Oh, yeah.
It sings.
Outwardly, what are we seeing from Alamenoy?
I think the very face that she's been slowly but surely not doing very well to hide.
Your blood sings. You are powerful. Are you? You are the royal line of your people?
Strictly speaking, you're the imperial line of your people.
Yes, it's an empire. But yeah.
Do you have stories about the spirits that must have been your ancestors?
Well, so there is a goddess who's sleeping in the tree in our palace that we protect, and they do say that She's the one who gave us the magical wood, and for people who can use magic, the magic that they use.
You're really going with the magic wood.
You have powerful
That's
blood.
stronger in the morning.
I'm sitting there giggling to himself. He is a kid.
I
More
would-
drops coming, Ed.
I would recommend you start to wear armor and you do not allow your blood to spill anywhere near any elf ever. There are elves that would cross the seas if they heard your whisper on the wind to take you. They would stop at nothing to do it.
That's not good. And the sea elves really don't like me as well, so that would be extra bad.
Well, the sea elves didn't like her, did they?
Correct.
That is interesting, now you mention it.
Pre-stream adventures. We might flash back to that one though.
That is interesting.
But then, does that give us any information about what that thing was?
Maybe...
Do we sort of skipped over something?
is remaining vigilant by the trapdoor, just in case.
A little bit of you say you have a goddess asleep in a tree that you live with.
We protect it. Yes.
That's kind of lovely.
No, it's a what?
What?
How did that happen? Was the goddess in the tree there, and then you built a house around it? Or did you build it?
Well, I wasn't around it. I don't know. But legend says that the last act she did was give us our powers, and then she fell asleep. And then the tree enveloped her, and we make our swords out of her wood.
What is her name?
Well, she has a lot of names. And also there isn't really like a name in, right? Like here, so I can tell you the Niffonese.
No, it isn't. No, do not tell me the name.
No, I never tell us the name.
No, do not utter the name.
Not in this.
Not
No,
in this
don't do
place.
it here. Yeah, no, okay, fair enough.
How did you come to follow Renald? If you have your gods back home.
Well, my fox. You know my fox. You saw it earlier today.
That's dead now.
They're gonna be so pissed at me. My fox came to me when I was a child. Well, I kind of saved it, and then it followed me around. It was originally just a spirit, and then it came through the gate, and then we used to play together. And then when I came over to here, suddenly I was depressed, and then it appeared, and then my life was better.
What kind of gate?
So in Nippon, I think I mentioned it before, there are gates that are direct paths into the spirit world, and they open at certain times of the year, and we, depending on the spirit types, we either give offerings or fight things or pray for our lives. You know, it depends. And that's how we manage. That's how we manage the magic.
Do they not attract the ruinous powers and demons and such like?
Yeah, that's why in the north, the biggest one has demons coming through all the time. So
Yeah.
a lot of my family goes to fight there, and that's where they die.
So you
And
have
that's what I
lots.
saw in your vision.
Oh, really?
What did you see?
Standing on a great wall, slaying thousands of followers of the ruinous powers. Thousands, countless thousands, hundreds of thousands.
I think I might need to get better at sword fighting.
Right.
Oh, was it that sword? Because she had a sword in the vision. Was it that sword? Yeah, it was that sword. I only just realised.
We can teach you. It's not
I'm
a
gonna
problem.
have to practice.
It's a scary thing to draw, though.
No, I'm not
That
with
sword
this. Not with
Assaults
this.
me just by revealing itself.
Well, if it is made of the wood flesh of a god, then it would be.
It's almost.
Assaulting.
It's almost like pure Gyron. Or is it just
you
it really?
That you of what you could sense, yes,
Yeah.
it was an assault on your senses. It's
Yeah.
fair to say. It was a lot.
But it didn't do anything to Leopold's
Nope,
sword,
not
did it? Although he had his eyes then.
It
So
might
he did.
be if that sword is something that you have to wield that we
No,
Oh, no, he didn't. He just lost them.
acclimatize myself to, because if you draw that in battle, I will lose focus. I will.
Well, I'm hoping to never have to draw it, really. And it's not really meant for normal fighting.
Is it meant to fight spirits and demons then?
Yeah.
Well, give
And honestly, it would be kind of rude to use it for other things.
And absolutely, I'm glad I didn't.
Save it for when the need is direst.
Right. Well,
Food, chat, odd realizations, blood drinking.
Can Leopold ask Gerhardt a question that his heraldry might know in terms of like lineage of noble families?
Oh, of course.
So the general who's in Ubersreich, is it Dabernick?
Dabernick?
So
Terrible lie.
does he have blood in Nordland?
Lord Heldry, please.
who were you asking about?
Dabernick.
I've seen his powers and ability.
84.
Yeah, very good.
8 successes.
Well,
baby.
that's good. The Dabernicks. The Dabernicks hail from Dabernick, which is in the princedom of Altdorf to the south. The town of Dabernick is there in particular. They ruled it for some 800 years, and you have nothing but a certain level of disrespect for them because their blood is bastard blood from the north.
Okay.
Jotun, old Wasjutun blood, in fact. The mixture of different old tribes that never really joined in with Sigmar. Nordland as a whole is one giant mess of people who probably shouldn't be part of the Empire
Or
anyway.
did they?
And yeah, actually, the correct answer there would be yes, the Dabernicks have Nordlander heritage. They were ennobled some 800 years ago.
So, short answer, yes. Long answer, and I give you all that information.
Interesting.
But they're not like super noble, you know what I mean?
They're really not, they're barely noble in your eyes at all.
It's not the nobility that I'm curious about. It's the fact that I'm almost certainly a bastard, but I belong from their line.
Alright, that seems like a jump from what I've just told you. How'd you get there?
Because I
Because
told
of
him.
Saint Helga.
Yes,
She's my ancestor.
yes.
She's Dabernick's ancestor.
And I told him he was from Nordland.
Right.
I mean, it's circumstantial evidence, but it's
Yes, that's my
building
point.
up.
Okay,
It's-
no,
it's
fine.
3
interesting.
pieces of
No,
circumstantial evidence.
hypothesis, again.
How
Good.
many people are in the Dabernick family, like currently? Like the main bit?
I'm given the number of successes you've got. There's not a great number. The family is relatively small, much like your own family. Relatively small. It's not prodigious or particularly prolific either.
Okay.
And as far as you're aware, there's not more than about 10 of them in total. The top of the line is Dabernick's father. It's not even him.
Alright.
General von Dabernick is not the head of that particular household.
I suppose the more pertinent question is how many of them were male and sexually active about 26 years ago.
26 years ago, you don't know. You don't know the family well enough.
But
It's,
Dabernick's
Yeah.
in his 50s, is he?
But if
So it could be
Helga,
him.
Helga is your ancestor, that might literally be where the lines diverge.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
If Yume squints her eyes really hard, can she conjure up Dabernick's face again and try and compare it to?
I imagine you'll have a better angle than she does.
You have to pull a very specific face.
Tales of Uber's Reik. For more on that, yes. Yes, you've seen him before, largely in the background during various functions because he was a relatively important
And he was
individual.
at that party.
Yes, before that, in the State Army of Altdorf. So he's someone that you'd seen before in the past also.
I remember Dabernick, but he had eyes.
And he's certainly not as tall as Leopold is either. But it's also
But he's-
the weird coincidence of it that I was praying in that temple to Helga at the point when he came in as well.
There are no coincidences.
Knew she was going to say that.
But like, he's not that tall. Why are you so tall?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not necessarily, as Salomon says, I might not be related to him. I might be related further up the family tree. I could be several generations away from him. I could be,
The tall
Yeah.
generation.
yeah, sure.
Does Leopold know his mother?
No.
So you're assuming it's a male from the line.
Oh, that's a
Give
good
you
point.
a factoid.
That is a good point.
I'm going to drop in a factoid for you. You know that the current wife of the Duke of Tame is a Dabernick.
The current wife of the Duke of Tame, Zenokar Trot, she is a Dabernick.
Oh, interesting.
And Absalom is very tall. And the Duke
That-
of Tame is tiny.
Different mother.
Different mother. Right.
I'm relieved.
but the Duke of Tame is small.
How old is the oldest child?
The trot child, 29,
Like this-
30.
The
How old are
sister.
you?
Mansleep has just crested over the horizon in that direction.
20 something.
Mansleep's just risen.
21.
Go time.
All right.
What's going on above us?
What time is Mansleep roughly rising just now? No, like, does he know from when it rose last night?
Don't have the astronomy skill necessary.
No, but like, he might remember it from last night.
Yeah, and he's got
Roughly.
We
navigation.
don't really have time.
And
to
orientation.
do we? So we're
Yeah,
not really,
yeah, so-
No, but like, how dark was it when Mansleep?
yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's
Mansleep.
nighttime. It's
It's
when you're meant to be
nighttime,
moving.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you know, like certain times of the year it comes
Yeah,
up.
you're meant to be moving
Yeah.
about now.
Right.
Right.
Ready?
Shall I go up and have a listen?
Yes.
Tap, 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 tap. Now, this is where I have to make an apology because our map cam is definitely not working, as we mentioned at the beginning of the episode. We do have a big map, which Erin, I presume, can show you over in the corner at various points. But we are using the map here because our party is arriving up in the corner room all the way up there. And when I edit this video later, we may even mark it on that video with a quick little thing so that you'll be able to see it on the later recording. So if you're looking at it just now in the later recording going, no, I can see things. That'll be why. So that's loosely where you come up. I'll just use that as the so we'll use the good old
I mean, meat pie is the heart of the party.
meat pie token. And as we mentioned before, the squares here are actually significantly bigger than our normal squares. But that's where you pop up. And this place is not full. In fact, I'd argue it's relatively sparsely populated with beggars. But beggars is not the word you would use.
Mutants?
Mutants is the word you would use. It's quite clear that they have dragged the heaviest, most obvious mutants away from the village and dropped them here for whatever purpose. And as you are aware, some of them get taken up to the castle later. Some of them may even return.
As guards.
The most heaviliest mutated are here.
Yes.
There was a baby as a spider.
It was a spider baby.
Correct.
Or maybe the gods hadn't found that one yet.
Or
They just
maybe
thought, "Oh, that's
it
spider."
was just a big spider. What you can say without any doubt is that the beggars lying here are not very fit, have clearly been starved, they're emaciated. That one has 3 fully developed arms on one side. That one over there has a third eye sitting in the center of its forehead. That one over there has got a complete set of 4 people's genitals on its face.
Whoa.
That's awkward.
4
Like
people.
recognizable people.
For you, one of them, yes. There's a detail.
Which one? And whose?
That's his secret. To carry and bear and decide what it means. But yet hanging down all over the place with an eye sitting at the end of one part.
Oh.
Are they all blood?
All of them, every last one of them, be they... Oh, I mean, it's even difficult to determine whether they're men, women, or something in between. These mutants are mutated.
Well, we'll have a pyre later once we've secured the keep.
Huh.
Illegal.
I will let you do a perception test.
4 successes.
All the
5
ones
successes.
here are human mutants. Now, I know that is obviously the case. They're clearly, but all their bits are human. They're human mutants.
So they've mutated in a relatively stable way.
Or the ones that are held here
Yeah.
are assuming that.
Of course, because there was Spider Baby and so on.
Yeah, indeed.
Or
But
there's
these
a
are
giant spider.
all human mutants.
We've seen enough to kind of see that there's normally animal parts.
Yeah, or
running
tentacles,
in.
or...
Yeah, you've seen all sorts of horrible, crazy stuff in your travels.
Interesting.
They appear to be as interested in you as they are in anything else, and that is not interested at all. And perhaps the reason is clear. Several bottles discarded and cast about. It appears they're being fed the rot gut here to keep them, one would presume, placid, which is, in this particular instance, to your benefit.
Yeah. So for now, let's just ignore them
Yeah.
and creep over towards the exit.
Okay, so it's not so much an exit as it's just a bunch of collapsed down, broken bits of wall
Clean
all
over to
around.
the edge and have a peek.
As you make your way over, and you've got an open courtyard. Now, you're aware of what you expect to be here, and it is largely matching the description that you were given earlier, but if anything, more ramshackled. The open courtyard is broken. The paving stones are shattered in many places. They're worn down and clearly, moving over to where the courthouse is, up in the top corner there, the marks of the wheels that have been dug in are quite clear. The area itself is not completely empty. So let's say these guys, just as a handy little way of saying, up in the wall over there, you can hear them, they're in metal. Making their way around the wall which goes over the entire periphery. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guards clearly up on the walls making their way around. You can hear shufflings inside the main room towards the south. That's the large area in the south side. And you can hear some shufflings in the main rooms up towards the side there. Down here, where you expect, so that's down the south and all the ruined sections here, more beggars to be, there are. And across the courtyard as a whole, there's some beggars. Some of them lying down, half broken in against the walls, tucked in away from the elements and presumably the feet or boots of people who choose to kick them. Little else to say beyond that. It's largely open, largely easy. No wickers of horses. There you go.
Interesting. I would have assumed the movement I heard over there was horses. But
But no wickering or anything similar.
Do we know the direction comparatively to the entrance where we should look for the fire, for the distraction?
The distraction will come from far over that way.
We'll expect to be notified of the distraction by the gates opening and people leaving, presumably.
But also, we need to tell them that we're in by hanging the rope before we wait for that.
No, they were going to do their
They do
distraction
the thing first.
anyway, because even if we died, they were going to have a go at the distraction and
But
sneaking
we
in.
should still throw a rope, just...
A voice echoes out from above and behind you, from where you are, off towards the side, and says, "There's a fire!"
There we go. Right,
Could be a different fire.
Fire!
The
Comes a
one-
call again.
Well, I said.
Bum, 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 bum,
It's the
bum.
same one.
As one of the guards makes its way around towards the side, and one over there also looks out and makes its way all the way over to the top of the tower over there, down towards the back corner, and looks out, raising up his hand, and you hear, "Fire! Fire! You tell the captain! I'll tell the captain! You tell the captain! I'll tell the captain!" Comes the voices.
Fascinating.
We got stuck.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. And you see him coming out there, crossing over, and then heading up there.
That's an outside staircase.
Yes.
Okay.
Up into the building, down towards the south of Bastion. And he disappears.
Let's wait and see how many.
And another call, "There's a fire! There's a fire!" And then another one says, "The captain has been called." Another one goes, "The captain has been called."
Are the voices, and this might be just the way to do it, are they identical?
Not identical, but very similar.
Okay.
They're carrying similar tones.
Should we sneak out of, or like some of us who can disguise themselves, should we sneak out during this time?
I mean, I thought we'd wait until they leave.
Well,
Until they
but,
send a sortie out.
Yeah.
Because we'll hear the gate at least if we don't see it.
but without a bow, I could just look like a beggar.
Bum, 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 bum. Chap comes out, goes across, heads over by side the coach house, heads up the stairs, back up into the battlements, moves out of line of sight, and then you can hear him saying, "We're investigating the fire. Who's investigating the fire? The captain said we're investigating the fire. Am I investigating the fire? You will not be investigating the fire." Another one says, "Yes, yes."
They appear to be somewhat.
Automaton.
Yes, like that, like with order.
Like they're being controlled.
Yes, or something. Oh, interesting.
Is anyone investigating the fire?
Do you think?
As of yet, no.
Let's wait and see who's investigating the fire.
It takes about 5 minutes
Wait and see who's
before
investigating the fire.
out they come, crump, 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 coming down the stairs here, down at the south of the keep, and they head out towards the north and over towards the side. Head in, and within moments are pulling out horses. These horses betray the fact that there's definitely something wrong here. Because these horses, although they are definitely caparisoned with heavy armour, do not do enough to disguise the fact that the horses themselves clearly died some time ago.
That explains
Hence no
it.
Wickering.
Yeah.
They clatter down into the centre and then head off towards the southern gate, where they move out and stop at the gate until an entire troop of some 20 are gathered.
Okay.
The movements of the people.
Yes.
I don't know if I've got a skill to check this out, but I'll try one. Do they have any distinguishing features? Like, are they the same height?
No, there's the people themselves are a variety of different, at least from what you can hear, people. They are all tip to toe covered in armor, and it is metal armor at that. It's going to be difficult to take these people out, particularly if your worst suspicions are true and there's not necessarily as much in there as you would normally expect. As the 20 gather down towards them, the south, a call comes out from one of them. Open it up! And you hear, shall I open the guard? No! Open up the gates! Yes, I shall open up the gates! And then moving, some clattering of metal feet, and then clunk, 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 as you can hear things going, and then suddenly a big heavy clamoring of hooves as they gallop out.
How many did we see go?
About 20.
About 20.
And all of them mounted.
Okay.
You do have one observation to make, although the observation I think is relatively obvious, and I'll drop that for you, and that's that the stables don't look like they're quite big enough for the amount of horses you've seen pulled out. But now, given you've seen the horses, it's quite possible they're literally just parked.
Yeah.
And just, literally parked like a vehicle, pushed in. They don't need to feed, they don't need to do anything else, they just sit there. Meaning that you can get far more into a far smaller space. Yes?
This is a player character. Have you ever shown Birdie being able to, like, mimic people's voices and stuff? Because I think that's one of the things.
I do have mimic. I can.
Do we know
Yeah,
that?
well, we've talked about
Yes,
that.
you have talked about it in the past.
Yeah.
Do you think you could pretend, now that you've heard the captain's voice, could you, like, if we got you armor or something, could you pretend to be them?
Or just even shouted.
So as you're sitting over in your little ruin, surrounded by mutant beggars, one of the, as you do, one of the guards makes his way down the stairs from the southern building, over towards the door, over towards the far left, and then heads in there. And disappears.
Doesn't reappear at the top.
Have they shut the doors?
It's a long tower.
Did
The
they
doors
just
have
leave
not
them
been
open?
shut, they've just been left open.
And right now, there's nobody up on the wall. There,
Right now,
other
they're
than the guy at the front.
Right now, they're well. You can't see them from where you are, so I've not popped them
Oh, I
off.
thought maybe I could perceive.
Oh
them.
yeah, you can. There's 5 guards sitting on the walls, and they've not gone away.
Are they walking around in a
Yes, they
Patrol?
are. Let's pop them
Nice.
with.
pretty regularly?
Yeah.
Um,
Can we time them?
I have said, if anything, relatively irregularly, in that some of them move a few steps and then just stop, move a few more steps and then just stop, then a larger amount of steps and then stop.
But their pace is reasonably stately. Like they're not running. They're
Oh
just,
no, yeah, they're just pump, 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 pump.
And like, does Leopold think there is scope? Because is that stairs up to the wall just there?
That stairs up to somewhere. You're not sure where it goes up to.
Well, I think that's where. Isn't that where Fred tapped and said there's stairs up to the wall
Yeah.
Yeah.
on his map?
You did.
Well,
I mean, he might be
that's what
wrong,
said,
Yeah.
but that is
But
definitely
we
what he
definitely
said.
know there's stairs up to the wall there where that
Yeah.
guard is.
But what
at the top
I'm
of
just
those
wondering
stairs.
about if there's enough time between them to just nip out, run up, chuck a rope down, run back down again.
Well, we could throw one of them off. That would be a good sign.
You do have a very long drop if you push one of them off. That much is certain.
It's
I
going to
can
be quite loud, and there's a guy who would see it. Who would hear the noise.
Not if we slit his voice box before we throw it.
No, I mean the
Voice
armor
boxes.
hitting the ground.
I suppose.
And one of them just fell.
Yeah.
Um,
How unfortunate.
I also, based upon what we've seen, and knowing that there's, spooky and necromantic things, We've been training those people out there to fight.
Door opens over on the opposite courtyard from where you are. One comes out and the second one comes out wearing far finer armour. The first that you've seen wearing a different style of armour. He comes out and he comes alongside. Let's use these ones here as again, apologies that you can't see any of this, as he comes out with 2 bodyguards and the one that came along with him. They're all dressed in armour and they're currently heading their way over towards the stables at the north.
Oh wow.
As one of them says, "Do you think it might be the far starter?" And the one in the armour says, "I think it's very bloody likely. Let's see if we can get this fucking witch this time." Says, "There's been reports of it all over the place. They'll have that elf with them." Says, I personally want to get the one with the white hair. I think she'd make quite a good addition to the squad." As he says, "Yes," and as they move in, and the only one who can hear them now is Alaminoweth and the father, as they jump up onto horses, you can hear them mounting. Says, "I think I'd rather get the elf. There's an interesting experiment to be had there, and I think her ladyship would like to see exactly how that develops." "Well, we were told that wouldn't work," he says, "and we weren't to bother." "Yes, well, her ladyship has moved beyond that particular restriction. We don't have a great deal of time left to get everything that we need," as all 4 of them then gallop out and continue talking as they go.
And are they, like, dead-looking horses too?
Yes.
Well.
As they all gallop out as well.
Free horses. Oh, they're not gonna beat.
You've done pretty well though. There was 50 guards and there's 5 up at the top. That means there's actually surprisingly few left here. If there's any elsewhere in the castle, you're in a pretty good place.
Yeah, so we can count for 28-ish.
29.
Again,
yeah.
the front gates have not been closed.
Right. So I think the time is first. The question is, do we just sneak up and try and drop a rope down, or do we take out one of the guards?
Well, we go up, we just drop a rope down, and if a guard comes along, we take him out.
I think we need to take out all the guards on this side so they can't drop the gate.
Yes.
What about this? Because we don't need to. I think it's more dangerous to go up on the edge and drop a rope down. They're looking for a sign. It could be anything. So we could use. There are windows, presumably.
Windows.
Or arrow slits or open.
There is a variety of. Yes,
side.
you've got over on that side. You can see in the gatehouse. There's a host of them. You can actually see all the ones that are on the bottom floor on the map here.
We could make a sign out of the window. And we don't even have to then go up there and expose ourselves.
Should say literally wave at the top. Right, if it comes to that.
They're looking for it, you know.
Well, they might not be able to see.
Yeah, an arrow slit from a distance, but if someone's waving on the top of the wall.
Right.
Or a lantern that's covered and uncovered.
Well, we could do that from the window.
I mean,
could do that from the window.
That's good. But I mean, I'm assuming when we came up, people doused their torches.
Oh, yeah. They're all down below, and it's just you at the moment sitting over above the beggars.
We have 7 matches.
Yeah, exactly.
What do our lore warfare people think? Like, you know.
But we didn't see.
He doesn't think very much.
I know all that.
We didn't see anybody go into the place where they said it lists the portcullis, which means that there is somebody at least in there.
If I'm thinking if they're patrolling, just pick them off one by one.
But it's a good point that Yumi's making, that there may be an extra guard who's not moving, who's just standing in the portcullis room.
Yes, and we'll bring the gate down.
So we maybe need to take them out first.
Cut a long story short, you're in a position that's far better than you originally expected. A lot of them have gone out. They clearly have orders to try and secure you, in the same way that they had orders to try and secure the previous witch that had arrived here. And they have gone out in force to do so, including perhaps their ranking members who have also left, meaning that you've got maybe a far easier assault coming up, and you are going to outnumber them maybe as much as 2 to 1. In that they've got a good 50 outlaws. They're going to be much less capable perhaps, but you've got the drop on them. That being the case, they're all hidden out there somewhere. That being the case, you really only have one job. Get a message to them any way that you can, because the second that happens, the assault can happen. And as a further one, you would really like those who are capable on your side up here to be quite literally dealing with the guards that you can obviously see. The easiest thing to do is just creep up behind the fuckers and push them off.
Yeah.
You're about to assault, so you don't need to be quiet anymore.
Yeah.
You can literally just get up there, push someone out, and just let them go, 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 shout, do anything. Doesn't matter. The noise is not going to reach over there. Your only concern is that anyone down that side doesn't head down to that tower. So going down towards there is not a bad idea, but you're only aware of a single one on the top, which is over there, which may be the best option for it to be taken out.
All right.
You could shoot.
So so probably best thing to do, take out the one closest to the external. So we're looking at the south, never eat shredded wheat, southwest corner. Take that one out, push him off the thing, and then from there, cry havoc and let hells all loose.
But quietly.
No, we can do it as loud as we want, actually, at that point.
It does make sense to
Right.
go.
Yeah, like that
Run round.
one's
From the back to
not
the front.
patrolling.
Yeah.
The one in the southwest is.
It is patrolling, it's moving,
Okay.
but they're not moving very
Wait,
quick.
take that one out first and go from back to front
Yeah.
as quickly as possible. We'll split
So-
it into two groups.
We might
Go
have to
across
be
the
aware of...
courtyard. Their attention will be outside the castle.
I would like from everybody their plan. And we're going to start with lowest initiative first. And you can converse through this.
Yep.
We'll nail it all down.
Are we? And I know this is normally taboo, but are we splitting the party in terms of some of us going up to that wall, some of us
Well, I
going?
mean, I think that's almost
further
certainly
away?
going to be the case.
Yeah.
Sure, you're not
Yeah,
splitting apart. You're all
I
on the
think
same
we're
map.
going to split. I think we'll split in half and sweep
So, Elric,
along.
Elric prefers the idea of starting from the back
Yeah.
for him, but he'll need someone alongside him because he will watch that room where he
So-
thinks people have gone into.
Elric's intention is to head in this direction
Yeah,
mostly.
watching the room with that.
Okay.
Is it like a,
You
it's
may.
like a fire pit in the middle?
Yep.
Yume will disguise herself as a beggar and try and get to one of the windows to send the message out at the right moment.
Okay, now you've got a couple of...
Yeah, or those windows.
You could just go over there and you could just start signaling from there. They're not so much windows as there are slits, but you could certainly
Sure,
do
yeah.
it from there. Yeah, but how exactly are you going to attract attention? Best person for doing that's actually him.
Yeah.
Or if you've got a torch, wave a torch.
Now, that involves
Firework.
taking a torch out and possibly getting spotted,
Yeah, true.
where he
Well,
can just create light directly in front of him.
Right,
Firework. You could just set firework. Totally could.
I mean, there's still a drop, right?
What, down here?
Yeah.
So she could just
Yeah.
throw a firework off.
Throw it quite far away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw it out there. That'll do.
And maybe that
Sounds
will
good.
distract the guys.
Gerhard.
All right.
I need one of your matches.
Easy. There you are. So you're doing southwest. I think portcullis is also needed to be covered, so I'm going to do portcullis.
So you're going to head down this bit and
Yes,
make
please.
sure that the gates stay open. The
Correct,
portcullis is
yes.
there. That sounds good. Hey, Father Leopold.
I think Leopold's going to creep up those stairs, hope it leads to the wall.
These ones or these
The
ones?
one closest to him,
Yep.
and push that fucker off the wall.
Okay, so he goes up those stairs there.
That's also a good sign to
Bernie.
Bernie
Okay,
wants to
fine.
defenestrate as many
Redundancy.
people as she can, so she's going to help Father
There's no
Leopold and
windows.
just keep
So
shooting.
she's
Well, do
jumping
all
up
the
there.
straight.
Finally,
I
Minowa.
don't
Sure,
think I can
wallace
leave
kid.
Elric by himself because there might be more up here that we can't see.
Okay, good. So
she'll
you're going
go
to pair up with
El-
Elric
Yeah.
and head over in that direction and try and deal with that one.
Should maybe go with that.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to resolve this round, and then we'll start off with you two, since you're both moving over and down towards the gatehouse that leads off towards the inner keeps rather than the outer ones. You're heading off towards that direction. Out in the main courtyard, there is nobody but the beggars. The guards are all looking outwards and appear to be relatively fixed on doing that.
As we start to go, can like Leopold hiss to Birdie, "Go with Elemental Wife." The sword.
She's supposed to go with me. Fine.
You make your way over there now. You've got a choice. You can either go up the stairs leading into the main building at the south, or you can try and figure out if you can get into the gatehouse itself. What's your plan?
I think probably only one should go in the gatehouse, push him over. The other two wait for any potential reinforcements.
So you're going to head straight towards the gate while those two check to see if anyone comes down the stairs or anything.
Yeah.
I would suggest that Birdie is the one who pushes him off. Just
Because she enjoys it.
You may.
I will. Is this wall dry enough that she can light the match on it?
Yeah. I think so, yes. But there's a chance it won't go off. Roll just a single D10.
Don't
Wait,
roll
that's
an
not a
8.
D10. 3.
Oh, yeah, that'll go. It's lit. What are you doing with it?
I chuck it as far as possible.
Bliss skill test, please, or indeed ranged thrown if you want the actual skill.
Yes. Ranged explosive.
That'll do perfectly.
It's almost like you're trained for this.
God damn it. I will reroll.
Drops at her feet. Oops. Uh-oh.
That is much better. 4 successes.
Good. Lob. Pop, pop, pop. It falls down between the rocks, not far away from the road. As you look out, I imagine with a smile on your face, you go up the stairs here that lead up above the stables, and you find yourself in a servant's quarters. Quite clearly, these servants' quarters have not been used for some time. As you make your way left, right, which direction?
What kind of sense, any kind of way that might lead me up?
That way, there's a set of stairs.
Head to them.
Pop, 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 and you're up on the main wall. There it is. There's the chap. He's just literally walking.
How high are the battlements?
The battlements are about...
Oh, so he won't go over then.
I mean, if you get a push, he might.
Yeah, if I try and give it
Yeah,
let's give it a try.
Okay, barge!
With my shield.
Boom! Yeah, push right into it. Okay, do yourself a melee basic test.
Charging?
Barge, it's an actual barge
that's
test.
20.
So it's a particular type of test where you go in, charge, and you can push them a square.
Yeah, 4 successes.
Superb. Yeah, he's screwed. Whoa! Crump as the armor crashes down. The helmet goes spinning off on the inside. A half-stitched together makeup of different face bits. Half a beard on one side and a female face on the other.
That's so fucked up.
No eyes.
Okay,
It's
brilliant.
worse than I expected.
As it falls up and it just stands back up again.
That's fine. It's not
Down
up here.
there.
Yeah.
Bernie, you're over here.
Yes.
That goes there. As the fireworks go, crack, boom, crash, and all across this area to the far right-hand side of the map, all the outlaws rise up. They've got themselves a single chap to take out. And that's where we stop it as we start the siege of Wittgenstein next week. Until then, boom, 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 boom.